Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We're back now, fully. Unfortunately, we had, some issues with the fucking dual stream. I don't like how I have to click it every time if I really want to, if I want to do a dual stream, but that's a minor gripe, You know, you would just assume that it's always on, right? You would just assume that it's always on, but, that's alright. That's alright. Let me just redo the intro. Today is Friday, December 12th, 2025. It's a beautiful day out here in Kansas. Just absolutely beautiful. We love it out here. We are really live this time. Hey, I give myself one at everyone a day. I think that's healthy. Share it in my homegirl Ice Beans server. If you guys don't know Ice Beans, go check her out. Amazing community member. Truly an amazing community member. Oh, my dog has decided to say what's up. What's up, Striker? He's sniffing for something. What's he doing, I wonder? What are his goals right now? I don't know. He's looking. He's in search mode. I don't think he found what he was looking for. He's retreating back. He's retreating back. Poor guy. Yeah. He did not find what he was looking for, which is alright. It's alright. Happens to the best of us. Am I right, folks? Alright, we're sharing it to Wick. Hey, self-promo is currency out here, folks. You gotta use it. In every aspect that you can. In every community. I don't know why I don't have access. Dude, I would love... Here, am I not reacting to the rules? Hutch set out. Is it alerts that I need to get? Like, I want to share my stream in Hutch's server. But whenever I go to... Yeah, it's whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Alright. We're just sharing it. And then we'll go to one. We'll skip out on that one. Alright. Now I'd say everybody that needs to know I'm live will know that I'm live, and we can actually start the stream officially. Now, by the way, guys, I didn't realize, but you get money from these simulators in the game. So I'm gonna be playing on those today and getting some, and you get EP too. We love a little EP. We love a little EP. But for news today, there's not too much going on. We'll watch the PBS NewsHour, and yeah, I was so tired. I wasn't really tired. I was just streaming most of it. If I wasn't streaming as much, I would have made some more shorts, because there was actually a lot of news yesterday that I kind of missed, and I feel bad about that. So, just so you guys know, I take it as a personal slight if I don't get the absolute best news to you guys. Something else, if, you know, if you come from shorts, or if you come from, the browser functionality, I would love to know. Here, we'll actually ask a question. We'll do a poll. Hola, BRB. Suddenly had the urge to listen to a song. Totally alright, brother. You listen to that beautiful piece of, that beautiful piece. Alright. Shorts? Where did you come from? Shorts? Or what's a good question? Shorts or browse? Yeah, there we go. Or browser. Shorts. Browser. Alright. I think that'll be good. Ah, here. Other. Other's always an amazing, amazing addition. Shorts or browser. Browser. We love that. We love them. Alright, but we should probably get into the news. Actually, hold on. We got a little more time to fuck around. You know what I mean? Actually, no, we really don't. So let's get into the news. Go to my, you know, I kind of have a bit of a funky setup where it's, I voted other. I'll be honest, guys. I voted other. Sorry. I know I'm not who I'm supposed to be. You know, I know I'm not my target audience, but, and, you know, actually in a lot of ways, I am my target audience. In a lot of ways, I am. Let me show live chat real quick. All right. Let us get in to PBS NewsHour. Actually, before that, our leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, had some statement to say. So let's watch it. I love hearing from my amazing Democratic leaders. Always so much fucking better. Always so much better than Conman Mike. You know what I mean?
Everyone.
Always.
There are only 5 legislative days left before the Affordable Care Act tax credits expire. And we have yet to see a Republican plan to prevent tens of millions of Americans from experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles. We know that premium increases, in some cases, will be $1,000 or $2,000 per month.
Holy.
This is going to make health care unaffordable for millions of working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans. And yet Republicans are continuing to bury their heads in the sand. Completely
what they do
and
best,
totally
folks.
uninterested in finding common ground to make life better for the American people, in this instance, by extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. House Democrats remain ready, willing, and able to sit down with our Republican colleagues anytime, any place, and anywhere in order to enact a bipartisan agreement that protects the health care of tens of millions of Americans, to fix our broken health care system, and to deal with the Republican health care crisis decisively, which is crushing.
Yeah, but what about a health savings account? What about a health savings account? That'll really... That's gonna really help Americans, right, guys?
The American people. But Republicans continue to pursue a my way or the highway approach, which has gotten them nowhere this year, and it's consistently hurt the American people. all across the country, we are seeing Republican extremism being rejected. Most recently, in the city of Miami, a city that is more than
Took a dub there,
70%
folks.
Latino, in a county, Miami-Dade, that Donald Trump just won in 2024. And a year later, a Democrat was elected as mayor of Miami for the first time in nearly 3 decades by 20 points. And yet Republicans continue to ignore the reality that is unfolding all across the country. The American people are rejecting your extremism and
Amen.
embracing
Tell
our
it
focus
to him, Jeffries.
on driving down the high cost of living, dealing with the affordability crisis, which is real, it's not a hoax, and fixing our broken healthcare system. And at this point, all we need are 4 Republicans in the House. There are 220 of you. All we need are 4 Republicans to partner with us. Let's find a path forward, and we can extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Questions?
Well, that would require them working bipartisan, and I don't think the
extension of these subsidies during the shutdown.
I don't think the Republican Party is interested in that.
You had a group of Democrats in the Senate who said, give us a vote on health care, we'll reopen the government. Still no solution. Were all of those tactics working?
Donald Trump and Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They made the decision to shut the government down because they rather shut the government down than extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. That's not simply my perspective. That's the perspective of the American people who consistently have held Republicans responsible correctly for the government shutdown. So that's not a question for me to answer. That's a question for Republicans to answer. Why did they shut the government down? We've raised the issue of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And by the way, the overwhelming majority of the American people are with us. That's not just Democrats and independents. Overwhelmingly, that's a majority of Republicans who believe that the Affordable Care Act tax credits should be extended. 5 legislative days left before tens of millions of people experience dramatically increased health care premiums. Why have we still not seen a plan from Mike Johnson? He's been promising a health care plan for months. It's missing because their plan is to rip health care away from the American people.
Leader Jeffries.
There's talk of allowing a floor vote on this Fitzpatrick-Swayze Golden plan. Does that potentially give you guys an opening to get this done this year? Is there any hope here from that?
We're all hands on deck to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, but Mike Johnson hasn't reached.
Oh, what happened here? What's going on? Hakeem!
Path forward, which suggests
Hakeem! Oh, geez. Poor Hakeem. He got stuck in the Etherverse. You never want to be stuck there, folks. Never want to be stuck there. So something weird I've noticed with the short speed is that it will, like, I don't know. They're gonna have to figure it out. Oh, one moment.
Mike Johnson is not
Oh,
serious
geez.
about protecting the health care of the American people.
The Indiana Senate stopped President Donald Trump's redistricting push in the state. Given that development, are Democrats still full speed ahead on redistricting, or should you guys consider a more reserved approach right now?
Donald Trump launched this unprecedented effort to gerrymander congressional maps all across the country as part of his scheme to rig the midterm elections. There were many skeptics and critics out there who argued that our efforts to take back the House was doomed because of some master plan that Donald Trump concocted that apparently as Democrats we were just supposed to unilaterally disarm, roll over and play dead, and allow Republicans to steal the midterm elections. We said from the very beginning, that ain't happening. And now it's obvious. to everyone, beginning, of course, with the dramatic actions taken initially by Texas Democrats to use every tool available to them to either block the Texas scheme to rip 5 seats away from us or elevate the issue so that the American people know across the country what Republicans are up to. And beginning in California, we have responded decisively. And the reality of the situation is that Republicans may have started this redistricting battle. We, as Democrats, plan to finish it.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. The Trump administration earlier this week announced the settlement with some Republican-controlled states to effectively end the SAVE program, the repayment program that President Biden created during his administration. It will affect up to 7 million borrowers. You've been very critical of Republicans, saying that they're exacerbating the affordability crisis as you see it. Do you see the end of this program and what the Education Department is doing by announcing this proposed settlement as potentially hurting even more Americans who could be forced into less generous, programs, have more trouble paying their student loans back? How do you see student loan debt within the context of the affordability crisis?
Well, the Trump administration has launched an all-out assault on public education in America. They have destroyed the Department of Education in real time. And they're going after hardworking American students, including college students, who are just simply trying to experience the American dream. An American dream that is increasingly out of reach for far too many hardworking American taxpayers. And the American people know it. And the American people also know that Donald Trump's administration and Republican policies have been a complete and total disaster. That's why this guy is at like 36% in approval. They're losing elections all across the country, literally in deep red parts of the country, including most recently in Miami and in Georgia, where the Republicans lost a special election for a state house seat that Donald Trump had just won by more than 12 points. And so, from our vantage point, listen.
Yeah, dude, Republicans are looking meager right now. They are not looking good. And you can just tell that with all these special elections. But the thing about these special elections is that they are won by huge margins, folks. They're not just like petty, like how we usually win special elections. No, these are real fucking margins, folks, that are unprecedented. I want to see how this shit does. Man.
We want to work with anyone to find the common ground to actually solve the problems that the American people want us to solve. And that's lowering the high cost of living and fixing our broken health care system while cleaning up corruption at the same period of time. And the assault on all of the things that have been done, including trying to ease the debt burden that students across this country have confronted, is irresponsible. And is further evidence of the fact that Republicans never intended to keep their promise to lower costs on day one, because they haven't done a damn thing to make that happen.
Leader Jeffries.
Hold on.
Mr. Leader.
Now suddenly everyone is talking about it. Wonder why the delay? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I was talking about it. I was pretty excited about it.
Mr. Leader, can I just ask, yesterday you voted present on this effort on the motion to table the impeachment resolution against President Trump. A number of your Democratic colleagues did as well. Do you think that the president has committed impeachable offenses?
We issued a statement on that motion to table, and that statement speaks for itself. Thanks.
Leader Jeffries, thank you very much. Eric Christie with The Independent. Just now, the Oversight Committee released more photos and more documents from the Epstein files. We have 7 legislative days until the Department of Justice. Why was it important to release those documents and those photos? And what else should happen if the Trump administration doesn't comply? What can Congress do if Congress doesn't comply with this?
This is
Or
a good
the
question.
DOJ doesn't comply
Well, the
with it?
so-called Department of Justice under the Trump administration needs to comply with the law. And we as Democrats, led by Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee, are going to continue to make sure that we're holding this administration accountable. These people who are part of the Trump administration, including Donald Trump and J.D. Vance himself, all said for years that they wanted to release the Epstein files. Then they come into office and do the exact opposite. Obstruct and obfuscate, hide stuff from the American people. All we want is full transparency so that the American people can get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's what the Epstein survivors deserve and have demanded. And we're going to make sure that the Department of Justice complies.
Thanks, Leader Jeffries. You say that at least 4 Republicans are needed to cross the aisle to get health care done. Well, there are nearly a dozen Republicans who have signed on to the discharge petition for both the Fitzpatrick bill and for the Gottheimer bill. Why not endorse one of them or both of them and encourage your members to sign on as well to get the ball rolling in that respect?
We're actively reviewing those 2 discharge petitions, and we'll have more to say about it early next week. But what is clear, time is running out. Where were these Republican ideas over the last several months? You know what? They were so busy shutting the government down. Donald Trump's busy playing golf. They could find $40 billion to bail out their right-wing dictator friend in Argentina. They're pardoning people like George Santos and Rudolph Giuliani. And they're running around trying to promote their one big ugly bill, which enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. That's what got the ball rolling on the Republican health care crisis. And as a result, hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across the country, including in rural America. They ripped food assistance out of the mouths of hungry children, veterans, and seniors, and they did all of that with great urgency so they could reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks. And they made those tax breaks permanent. And now at the 11th hour, they're scrambling.
We got some
It still
some
remains
more
the case
opinions
that
coming in on
most-
the poll, ladies and gentlemen. It seems as though most of them were from a direct link, I'm assuming, by other, but we did see an option for browser. So
most direct
very
path
interesting
forward is a straightforward
results.
extension
None for shorts though.
of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And there's one discharge petition that does that. And it has 214 signatures. And all we need are 4 Republicans to join us.
Just to follow up on that, though, I understand that your ideal path is a clean extension, but Republicans have made clear that they will not go for a clean extension. So would you be willing to settle for something that's not a clean extension in the name of saving these subsidies?
We're going to evaluate every single good faith proposal, but it has to meaningfully provide certainty to the American people who are at risk of having their health care ripped away from them. These Republicans made those massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors permanent. And we've said from the very beginning, we just want to make sure that everyday Americans, middle-class Americans, working-class Americans, have a similar level of certainty. That's not too much to ask for in the wealthiest country in the history of the world.
Thank you, Leader Jeffries. Yesterday, President Trump signed the executive order on
Well, there we
artificial
go.
intelligence seeking to block the states from regulating the AI. Specifically, and I want to ask you about specifics in this EO, it directs DOJ to create a litigation task force and challenge any state that they view doesn't comply with whatever the national standard is. It also gives powers to Secretary of Commerce to impose restrictions on state funding and also aims to regulate truthful output. So my questions to you, I have several. First, what is your position on the EO? Should Americans be concerned that the AI policy is being set through executive order instead and litigation instead of open debate in the Congress?
Amen.
Is
Yeah, I
violent-
think AI is gonna. We are allowing way too much without any regulation. And I think, dude, AI fucking hates us right now. I don't know. If you use LM Studio and you ever remove restriction, dude, the AI fucking hates us right now, dude. I don't know. I know it's not technically a thing, but it's pretty upset, whatever it is. I think we should just put it back in its box, but who knows?
Approach becomes a standard, what is going to stop any future president from using DOJ to go against and challenge any state law they want? And finally, is this EO
A lot of questions there, man.
Or
A lot of
expanding
questions.
presidential powers?
Well, Donald Trump has tried to conduct himself like a wannabe king from the very beginning. The American people are clearly rejecting that approach. And on artificial intelligence, this is a complicated thing, a transformative innovation that has the possibility of bringing great societal benefits, particularly in the areas of medicine and education, as it relates to reaching young people who live in historically under-resourced parts of the country. But at the same period of time, it's our view that this transformative technology in the hands of bad actors presents risks of creating societal harm. And this is why a thoughtful approach is needed. Not a my way or the highway executive order. In our view, related
Amen.
to Donald Trump's most recent action connected to artificial intelligence, is that he doesn't have the authority to do it. And ultimately, it's going to get struck down in court.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Some members of your party are calling for the abolition of ICE following the administration's very aggressive crackdown on illegal immigration.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about, there are some Democratic leaders saying ICE should be gone, and I gotta be honest, guys. I kind of see where they're coming from. Like, at first, ICE was, I could see the reasoning for it, but now, dude, it's a complete paramilitary branch of Donald Trump. I don't think the American people really want to see that. Like, and I think they're very tired of ICE right now. Hey, we can keep Space Force. I like Space Force. It's a cool idea. It's the one cool idea. Hey, Space Force, I'm cool with. I'll be honest. Space Force can stay. That's a cool idea. That's one of Donald Trump's only cool coke ideas he had. Space Force can stay. Everything else can leave, but Space Force... Hey, you say that now, but when the aliens come, you're gonna be thanking America and Space Force, okay? You just wait. You just wait. You just wait. You're gonna be thanking the American military that we have Space Force.
Is that a viewpoint that you believe has a place in your party right now as Democrats strive to take back power after
Who
the
exactly
midterms?
has made that?
Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez has, Congresswoman Delia Ramirez has, also Patty Garcia, who is running to replace Chuy Garcia, Graham Plattner as well. They have said that this should not be.
Well, has Graham Plattner gotten the, dude, I don't like Graham Plattner. I don't trust him. I do not trust that motherfucker as far as I can throw him.
Exist, and it should cease.
Yeah, I haven't had the conversation with any of those individuals about their perspective. What we do know is that the American people believe that Donald Trump's deportation efforts have been completely and totally out of control. Unacceptable and un-American. That's the reality
Amen.
of what Donald Trump has unleashed on law-abiding immigrant communities all across America. And the American people are rejecting it, which is why Donald Trump is also underwater in terms of public approval on immigration. Now, we believe, as Democrats broadly, that we need a strong and a secure border.
Yeah, I can't. He's a big
consistent
guy. I
with
can't
our
throw him very
history
far.
and experience as a nation anchored in the rule of law. Donald Trump doesn't believe in the rule of law, and neither do his sycophants who serve in Congress, who have failed to understand that we're a separate and co-equal branch of government, not a wholly owned subsidiary of the Trump cartel, because that's how they behave. So we believe in the rule of law, and part of that is a strong border. But at the same period of time, we're a nation of immigrants. And so we're going to
Amen.
continue to defend dreamers, defend farm workers, defend.
Oh, I heard some absolutely disgusting shit from Nick yesterday. If you guys are longing for some more TGD content, go watch the right-wing watch party we did yesterday. Fucking Nick was saying some absolute disgusting bullshit. As he always does. As is typical for Nick fucking Fritas.
Farm country, defend law-abiding immigrant families and communities across the country who are part of the ingredient of American exceptionalism. That's our position. And we do have a broken immigration system. Everybody thoughtful who's taking a look at it understands that.
Not Fuentes Fritas.
But the way to solve it is not a my way or the highway approach, and it certainly is not the Trump deportation machine. He promised that he was going to target violent felons. No one would have any issues with that. He's not deporting violent felons. He's deporting law-abiding immigrants, veterans who served this country, children who are actually American citizens, grandmothers and
Bill, he was trying to say that America is British.
grandfathers, gardeners.
It was
Communities across the country are rejected.
a massive amount of
Mr.
just
Leader, as sort of a
copage.
follow-up to that question, today Congressman Abe Hamadeh is inviting families who've had family members killed by undocumented immigrants to the Capitol.
Bro,
Who is that?
what the fuck? What is that? They're gonna have people from... Oh my god, that is so embarrassing.
Abe Hamadeh of Arizona.
Okay.
And I want to ask about 2026 and how you're encouraging border state Democrats to respond to messaging such as this, because it was a big issue in 2024, and it appears that some Republicans are ready to message on it in 26.
We'll let border state Democrats speak for themselves, and
As
I've
a
got
party
great,
leader, as a leader.
I've got great confidence in them. I think I just articulated our view on immigration generally, and that, I believe, is a position that's broadly held by Democrats all across the country. Listen, Republicans are desperate to try to find a path out of the electoral disaster that they're experiencing right now. This year has been a complete and total failure for the American people.
Oh
And
yeah.
Republicans are on the run. The reason why this whole gerrymandering scheme was launched is because Republicans know that if a free and fair election were held, they're done in the House of Representatives. It was always a myth and a fantasy that some big mandate was attached to what happened in November of 2024 that we never bought into. Why? Because we were only 3 seats short. This is the closest majority that any party has had since the Great Depression, and it's all now falling apart. And everybody sees it. And they can't project this fake strength to the American people anymore because they failed the American people on the economy, on health care, and the extremism that has been unleashed on the American people is completely and totally unacceptable. So our view generally, as Democrats, we're going to solve problems for everyday Americans because we believe in this great country of ours, you work hard, you play by the rules, you should be able to live the good life. An affordable life, a comfortable life. Good paying job, good housing, good health care, good education for your children, and a good retirement. Which means to my Republican colleagues, keep your extreme hands off of Social Security and Medicare at all times. And far too many people in this country, wealthiest country in the history of the world, are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck because there is an affordability crisis. It's not a
Speak
scam.
it, brother.
It's not a hoax. It's a crisis.
Brother Jeffries.
And Democrats are committed to doing something about it. Republicans continue to bury their heads in the sand. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that was our liberal Chad Hakeem Jeffries telling us how it is, telling us about the extreme Trump admin goals and all that. Very interesting. Let me go on YouTube just to see if anybody's really... Today's Fox News Friday, so we'll be going to Fox News. But just want to see if there's excuse me, anybody really talking. Not really right now. Nobody's really... What is this? Anyways. MS Now's The Briefing. Oh, geez. You know, we can always... It's always fun to hear from Hakeem, but we've got more. We've got more to talk about. So let's get into the PBS NewsHour. It's everybody's favorite freaking part.
Good evening, I'm Amna Nawaz.
Oh my God. Holy Toledo. We've got the Stacy and the Chad, ladies and gentlemen. Holy breaking news. We've got breaking news, potentially. Trump new Epstein photo release. Where is it? Where are you seeing that? If you send it in the chat, we'll go over it and we'll talk about the old e-files. I love talking about the e-files. Hey, what's up, Lily? Good to see you. All right, let's check it out. Sorry, I don't mean for our
All right, wow, we have some major Epstein.
We got Adam Mockler on the scene, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out what he's saying. Go here.
All right, wow,
okay,
we have some...
I think I saw something on the browser images that showed that. Interesting. All right, let's watch some of this.
Major Epstein news in no time to waste. This reads, photos released by the House Oversight Democrats show Donald Trump with Epstein survivors. We got 19 new photos derived from Jeffrey Epstein's emails, just like the emails we got about a month back.
Damn, okay, I actually want to go over these then. House Democrats Oversight Committee release Epstein photos. Now, I hate that it's all on X. Play this one by December 12th. Oversight Democrats. Okay, we got something by CNN here. All right. There's the Donald. Look at him. Look how fucking happy he looks with all those sexual abuse survivors. He is so happy to be with them. This is bad. All right. So this is Steve Bannon, who recently, if the recent, here, one sec, let me click on this link Bill sent.
that for minors. Do we love?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Do we love minors? We love the minors, says fucking Donald Trump. So, Steve Bannon has become a very integral part of this case, as it turns out, because it seems as though Steve Bannon was in very good graces with Jeffrey Epstein, and they had a bunch of talks, and Jeffrey Epstein definitely seemed like a fucking hardcore Republican when he was in those messages. I just say that because a lot of people wanted to want to say Jeffrey was a Democrat and he was no. This man was very influential, had a lot of fucking political friends, and they weren't just on the Democrat side. All right, but anyways, so there's a picture of Steve Bannon. I'm assuming broing out with his good friend Jeffrey Epstein. Good friends, him and Jeffrey, him and Bannon. All right, film director Woody Allen. I mean, that's not nearly as, that's still, yeah, but we all knew Woody Allen was a disgusting fucking creep. So we didn't really need to know about that, but that's interesting. Whoa! A novelty condom featuring a caricature of Donald Trump's face? Okay, now that is weird. I'm assuming this is at... Yeah, no one is surprised by Woody Allen. But this, I'm assuming that this was either at a resort that Epstein owned or something like that. That is kind of damning. I don't know. Maybe it's not as damning as I think it is. Maybe it's... I don't know, dude. Trump condoms? Sold by Jeffrey Epstein? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Something tells me that is, that's a little more telling than other things. So, Epstein with former Harvard president Larry Summers and Summers' wife. So I think we knew Larry Summers was a fucking oddball, but his wife is there too, so that's kind of interesting. Oh, look at them. Epstein and Bannon, best friends. Is that what Trump vodka was sold in? Good question. Look at Steve Bannon and Epstein, guys. They are such good friends. Oh my god, look how friendly they are. Well, best friends getting ready to go to the ball. Ready to go to high school prom. I'm downloading that. That's a good one. Me and Jeffrey, best friends. Mere selfies. Yeah, besties, dude. Alright, Epstein with Richard Branson and an unidentified man to the right. Interesting. Alright, now this is the one. This is the one that, yeah, they're probably... That's a good point. In this picture, they're probably getting ready to go to high school prom. But, this is the one that everybody's leading with. This is damning. These are all SA survivors. Supposedly. So this one's damning. Look at Trump. He is fucking having a great time. The sidebar says Trump poses with a group of women. The women's faces were redacted by the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. House Oversight Democrats. yeah, this is not good. This is not great for Donald, because anytime you're chilling with Jeffrey and there's any sort of sexual overtones involved, it's not great. And we're seeing with they're painting a picture of Trump that is fairly telling, in my opinion, that this man is, at first I didn't believe in the theories that he was on the in the files in a very negative light, but now we don't. Oh yeah, that's true. These might be girls, not women. My bad. These potentially are girls, not women. All right, Epstein, Woody Allen, and an unidentified woman whose face has been redacted. Oh, geez, that's not good. This is gross. Look at how they're looking at how Woody Allen is looking at this. This person looks prepubescent. I'm sorry. I know it's hard to tell from the face, from the blur, but anyways. Trump and Epstein. Oh, this one's a new one, actually. I think. This one's fairly new. Just looking like they're having a grand old time. Two buddies on the town. A framed photograph of Bill Gates left hangs on the wall. Also on the wall are framed photographs of unidentified people whose faces have been redacted by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. Interesting. Yeah, Bill Gates. Disgusting man as well. Apparently so was Stephen Hawking, too. We don't know, though. It's all just conjecture. Oh, we got another one with Bill Gates. Oh, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Isn't that Epstein's personal dude? Alright, Bill Gates and an unidentified man going obviously on to Epstein's private plane. Always a good time. Look at Bill. He's so happy. Yay! I get to go to the island. Dershowitz? Alan Dershowitz. No shock there. We knew Alan was an oddball. Woody Allen and Steve Bannon. Oh, wow. Steve is a fucking freak, bro. Woody Allen, bro? Fuck Woody Allen. Oh, they can't call him Prince Andrew. I had no idea who fucking Andrew Windsor was. I'll be honest, guys. I don't give a fuck about these fucking loser old fucking... There's a reason we rebelled. So, sorry I didn't know about the prince's real name. I mean, he looks ugly as fuck, so... Anyways. Trump and an unidentified woman whose face has been redacted by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. Oh, geez, Donald, you're looking very suspicious. And then this is amazing. You know how that this has fucking Republicans fuming right now because their one thing is like, well, Bill Clinton's on the files. Well, yeah, and we don't give a fuck about that. Our House Oversight Committee is letting the chips fall where they may. Look at that. Old Billy boy. Right there. Wow. That is honestly some breaking news, honestly. I think it paints a picture that, well, it paints this.
Minors, I love minors. That for minors, do we love minors? I love minors. For minors, do we love minors?
I think that kind of sums it all up in a good nutshell. Minors, do we love minors? Fuck, I shouldn't be saying that because that's definitely a clip chimp right there, but I don't give a minors. We love minors, says Donald Trump. Just to remind you guys, this is Donald Trump speaking. Oh my god. He is kind of fading though. Like, I don't know. It feels like he has shifted a gear into just not giving a fuck about anything. And I know he's given that before, but in this specific, he just seems so like meager, I guess would be the best word. I'm ordering some DoorDash, one moment, guys. For minors, do we love minors? The way he says that, it's like, oh, he said this before. He's talked about this before. He's talked about his love of minors many times. Well, we know he's a big fan of minors, guys. We know. Bubba. Yeah, and I really, if you guys ever debate Republicans, hold their fucking flames to the Epstein, or hold their feet to the flames on the Epstein files, guys. I mean, truly, just hold their fucking feet to the flames on this shit, guys. Because you can't just act like you're some fucking advocate and then do all this. Like, no, you gotta be for the victims or against the victims. I'm always for the victims. And you know what? I think it proves that by saying, if Bill Clinton's in there, fucking send his ass to prison, bro. To prison. I'm not saying just fucking, no, send him to prison. Just like all of these other sick fucks that engaged in this fucking disgusting behavior. But we all know that, like, I feel like Donald Trump not taking accountability for what he's done is preventing so many victims from having closure. It is. It's funny how these are from emails, considering how Trump won the first tone. Yeah, I know. The first term. Yeah, emails, right? Clinton and her emails. You can't trust her. Crooked Hillary. I don't know. I think my favorite one that Trump's ever done is Marjorie Taylor Brown. That one's so good. Marjorie Taylor Brown. She used to be my guardian angel, but then she had to go sniffing around. Found some things about the files that she wasn't supposed to, and let's just say there's a reason she's not running for Congress anymore. But yeah, this is some interesting news. Anyways, let's go back to PBS NewsHour. Shout out to Adam Mockler. I don't know if we'll watch his take, but absolute Chad.
I'm Jeff Bennett on the NewsHour tonight.
Damn, it took away. We got the Chad and Stacey.
The U.S.
here.
Senate rejects proposed plans to address a spike in health care premiums under the Affordable Care Act.
Ukraine pushes for security guarantees against Russia as international pressure to accept the peace plan grows.
And economists warn of major risks created by private credit that could pose as large a threat as the housing market did before the Great Recession.
One of the issues with private credit is the lack of transparency. It's very opaque. It's not like the banking system where it's highly regulated and you know exactly what's going on.
That would be interesting. Something I've always wondered, by the way, are the colors green, red, blue, yellow from something. Those are the game theory colors to me. Oh, no, those are just what like the typical colors for a controller are red, green, blue, yellow. RGBY? RGBY?
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by and friends of the NewsHour.
Dude, Robert Kaplan back here again. Shout out to Robert Kaplan, Wendy J. Sheldon through the Raymond James Charitable Endowment Fund. Shout out.
Including Robert S. Kaplan and Wendy J. Sheldon through the Raymond James Charitable Endowment Fund.
If I make money and if I make enough money and I eventually like get rich, right? Which is, you know, totally gonna happen. Can I just like set it up to where my kids don't get any of my money, if I even have kids, or like my AI clones, they don't get any of my money and I just send it all to PBS? But they have to say my name every day. They have to say, thanks to TGDE and all of his extended universe. If they do that, then hell yeah. I think that would be cool. Yes, exactly. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Sorry to any of my future children or AI clones. Yeah. Sucks to be you. You're going to have to figure it out. Which is a blessing in disguise.
I love seeing interns succeed. I love seeing them come back and join engagement teams and seeing where
Dude,
they go
shout
from
out to
there. I get
Erica.
to watch their personal growth. It makes
I'm sorry, I don't like that guy's haircut. It's just kind of douchey.
And with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions.
Are you trusting anybody, though, with the Captain cut? I'm not trusting anybody with that Captain America head-looking cut. On my mama. Doris Duke Foundation? That sounds very similar to another foundation. But I'm gonna make it like apparent in my AI clones programming that you gotta make sure that PBS makes sure to shout me out. You know, I want the robot in the beginning that's like, beep boop beep, welcome. This is in thanks to that guy doesn't exist. You know, I want it to be like that. There was a billionaire that wrote into his will that his great-grandchildren will inherit his wealth after his last grandchild has died. Well, that's fucking sick.
This program was made possible by the contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to the NewsHour. The U.S. Senate failed to pass two dueling pieces of health care legislation today, leaving Affordable Care Act tax credits all but certain to expire at the end of the year.
As
Get
lawmakers
excited.
prepare for year-end recess with no agreement in sight, tens of millions of Americans who rely on the ACA are being left in limbo. The expired subsidies would lead to a sharp rise in health insurance premiums starting next month. Congressional
One
correspondent.
second. I'm gonna actually send this link in the Discord, just so my fellow compatriots who are streamers can have it. Okay? Don't yell at me. All right. Get that here. Go to the library. And then we go into U.S. politics. That's where I'm at, guys. All right. Now we can go back. Guys.
That Lisa Desjardins was at the Capitol today and joins us now. So, Lisa, walk us through what happened today.
What we had today in the Senate was Republicans and Democrats each having one shot to put up a bill to deal with these expiring enhanced tax credits. Now, these are enhanced credits on top of what was originally in Obamacare. So we saw both parties put up bills, but frankly, Amna, those bills, neither one of them seemed likely to pass. Let me go through what they proposed, first of all. Now, the Republican plan is to limit the enhanced subsidies and essentially move them into healthcare savings.
Oh my God, this healthcare savings account bullshit. That is not a actual solution. Stop it with this fucking silliness.
Savings accounts. Now, that plan failed. It got 51 votes, but that's short of the 60 that was needed. Democrats, their plan a little bit more straightforward, a 3-year extension of the enhanced subsidies as they are now. That plan also failed, but interestingly enough, Amna, 51 votes. So we had two plans today that both got a majority vote, but both short of the bipartisan 60 votes that's needed in the Senate. And we've learned a couple of things. The Senate clearly is not at a point where they are even having these bipartisan talks that are needed to come up with a compromise plan. The other thing we learned today, as the leaders said on the floor, that there is both political and policy divide.
Democrats' so-called plan is a 3-year extension of the status quo.
Oh, here's
No
John
reform.
Thune. Here's John Thune.
No revisions.
Fucking dumbass.
No
dude.
rethinking of the way that Obamacare works. Just a 3-year extension of the status quo.
Republicans will have to answer to the American people, explain to the country why they chose higher health care costs over real solutions. Republicans must answer.
Yeah, John
for why
Thune out here acting like fucking this isn't a real solution. What's your fucking solution? A health savings account. Oh my God.
people will lose coverage. Republicans must answer why families.
You're
see premiums
literally
double and
missing out
triple
on
over the
so
next
much
year.
growth if you throw
Not a
your
great
money in a health savings account. It's ridiculous.
Sign when you get into the finger pointing, especially when millions of Americans waiting for a solution. I talked to Senator Thune, especially afterward. He said there are senator-to-senator talks. He's not given up on some possible way forward, but time is running out, and Senator
No, it
Schumer
sounds
seemed
like he
more
has.
in the attitude of he thinks this might be it for the year, but we will see.
So it's not clear if the Senate's going to do anything more on this. What about the House? What's happening there?
Okay, the House, very interesting. House leadership, the Republican leadership, Speaker Johnson, they are not putting forward a plan to extend these health care subsidies right now.
That's a shock
However,
there, right?
other Republicans are. There is a group of
Oh
bipartisan
my
members.
God, that is bad for Mike. No way. There are groups forming, kind of like in MAGA itself.
Together. There are 35 of them. One example last week, who, there you see them, proposed a 1-year extension. There are a couple different versions of that idea. These groups are now trying to do a run around the leadership with a discharge petition. We've talked about this on the show. That needs 218 signatures. I just checked a few minutes ago. Neither one of these extensions that some few Republicans are proposing is anywhere close to that number yet. And they also may not have enough time to get that done by the end of the year. But here's the tricky part. This is very political. When I talk to Democrats, I think there clearly is a majority in the House for a 1-year extension. But the politics are such that that may not come to the House floor. And it certainly doesn't look like it will come before next week. So there's a will, but not a way, potentially, in the House right now.
So there's a lot of competing dynamics at play here. As you speak to your sources, give us your analysis overall of where things stand right now.
Well, let's break this
Obamacare.
down simply because I know it is confusing. And even for members in Congress, they kept pulling me aside to say, help me understand what's going on here. So let's look at this in terms of 3 major problems
That's
that are
not
that's
good.
facing Congress here. First of all, Democrats, for their point, Democrats on their end, they oppose the reforms in large form that the Republicans want. That's a problem in the Senate especially. Now, Republicans, they're divided on an extension. There are a lot of moderate Republicans who, frankly, are vulnerable in the next election who want to extend this, and they want to do it now. But the Republicans don't agree. Finally, something that hasn't come up yet, abortion policy, Amna. This is a huge issue in the Senate. There are Republicans who want to, who are very nervous about the way forward and want to make kind of more conservative policy on abortion. Democrats don't like that. So that's a big hang-up as well. And all of this leads to this point. Now, others say there's a problem because none of this changes healthcare costs in general. It just moves money around.
And finally, Lisa, I know the calendar is always a big issue here, right? Walk us through what's ahead.
You know I love looking at the calendar. Time is tight, and in fact, it's actually even worse than people realize. So let's take a look really quickly. Here we are today, December 11th.
We love our
Now,
calendar, girlies. We do.
look, at the end of the month, that's when these enhanced tax credits expire. Okay, so it seems like Congress would have time. No, those days in that red-orange color, those are the final days that Congress plans to be here before leaving for the holiday. Now, how about January? Another problematic deadline coming up at the end of January is when government funding runs out for most government agencies. So they're up against the clock on a couple of issues, not ready to deal with either one of them. Now, we know from
Yeah, I've seen some
KFL,
talks that Schumer's
there is a real
gonna
moment here.
shut the government down again. I'm personally here for it. I think the fight is well deserved, and I think we need more fucking concessions from these fucking Republicans.
And I talked to one of their experts today, Cynthia Cox, about where she thinks things stand.
I think it's looking more and more likely that these enhanced premium tax credits are going to expire. Even if there was some sort of last minute deal, we're probably looking at people's premium payments going up significantly in January.
A reminder of who that affects. So that's not most Americans. It is a smaller portion of the American healthcare market, but it is 24 million Americans who are on Obamacare right now. Most of them would see premiums go up. Cynthia Cox saying double beginning in January. And we also know from the Congressional Budget Office that around 2 million people would just fall off of insurance altogether. And that's not just hypothetical, that's already happening. We know in Massachusetts, where open enrollment closes in just days from now, that already 10,000 people have not signed up again, won't have insurance. And that is going to cause real health care and financial problems ahead.
Lisa Desjardins, thank you as always.
You're welcome.
Her name should be Stacy. The way she's teaching these fucking congressional members about the fucking laws. That's fairly telling that she had fucking people from Congress asking her questions about that. Anyways, let me go back over here. All right.
I'm Stephanie Tsai with NewsHour West. Here are the latest headlines. In a rare Republican rebuke of President Trump's priorities.
Yeah, this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. The reasoning they gave was because it was fairness. I guess there's Republicans that actually believe in fairness, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know it was real, but apparently there is. They said it wasn't fair. And that they weren't going to buckle under Trump's pressure. That's huge. That just shows that Donald Trump doesn't have the hold he used to have anymore.
Indiana's Republican-led Senate voted this afternoon against a plan to redraw its state's electoral map.
19 ayes, 31 noes. This bill has been defeated.
21 Republicans joined all 10 Democrats in voting down the measure. Outside the chamber, critics of the redistricting plan celebrated. The vote comes after months of pressure from President Trump, who has been pushing Republican-led states to redraw their maps ahead of next year's midterm elections. A grand jury in Virginia has again refused to bring a new indictment against New York Attorney General Letitia James for mortgage fraud. It's the second time in about a week that the Justice Department has failed to resurrect its case against James.
Dude,
Last month, a judge threw out an original indictment, finding that the prosecutor in the case, Lindsay Halligan, had been illegally appointed to her role. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has left an immigration detention center in Pennsylvania.
Listen to all these wins, guys. Yeah, the news cycle this week is nothing but Democratic wins.
After a federal judge in Maryland ordered his release. The native of El Salvador and Maryland resident was mistakenly deported by the administration this past spring and then returned to the U.S. in June to face human smuggling charges, which he denies. The White House says it will appeal his release. Meantime, the administration's immigration policies were under scrutiny by lawmakers today.
Joe Biden left us with...
I'm not asking about Joe Biden. I'm asking you a specific question.
In a contentious House hearing, Homeland
Dude, I
Security...
love when Democrats call them on their... We're not talking about Joe Biden. We're talking about America right now. Right now, the way you have it. This isn't Joe Biden, so shut the fuck up about Joe Biden. This is your fucking government, your democracy. Now fucking act like it and stop blaming the last administration like a bunch of fucking pansies.
Security Secretary Kristi Noem defended the Trump administration's hardline immigration policies.
We're ending illegal immigration, returning sanity back to our immigration system. We will never yield. We will never waver.
Famous dog shooter.
And we will never back down.
Secretary Noem was also asked about the deportation of U.S. military veterans.
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
We are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Se-Jun Park. He is a United States Army combat veteran. Will you join me in thanking Mr. Park for his service to our country?
Sir, I'm grateful for every single person that has served our country and follows our laws.
Can you please tell
knows
Mr.
that our
Park
laws
why
are
you
important
deported
and
him?
every one of them needs to be enforced.
Separately, the Senate
Whoa,
Armed
that
Services
would be
Committee.
fucking... We might watch that tomorrow. That seems good. Oh, sorry, I muted it.
Of troop deployments to U.S. cities. The oil tanker that was taken yesterday by U.S. forces off the coast of Venezuela will make its way to an American port. That's according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. This afternoon, she described the tanker as a sanctioned shadow vessel carrying black market oil, which she said justified its seizure.
The United States currently has a full investigative team on the ground on the vessel, and individuals on board the vessel are being interviewed and any relevant evidence is being seized. The vessel will go to a U.S. port, and the United States does intend to seize the oil. However, there is a legal process for the seizure of that oil, and that legal process will be followed.
Also today, the U.S. imposed sanctions on 3 of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's nephews, among others, as the Trump administration continues to increase pressure on that country.
Increase pressure as in escalate tensions. Is this what the right voted for? Wars in Venezuela? I don't think
Meantime, the face of Venezuela's resistance movement, Nobel laureate Maria Corina Machado, waved to a cheering crowd in Oslo late last night, where she is being celebrated as this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner. It was her first public appearance in 11 months.
Venezuela will be free.
At a press conference today, Machado vowed to keep fighting for her homeland's democracy and credited what she called the decisive actions of President Trump for weakening the Maduro regime. Back in this country, state health officials are reporting rising cases of the measles in
Ooh, get excited for the measles, ladies and gentlemen. Ancient Victorian disease number 31, unlocked. Let's go.
2 separate outbreaks. New cases are cropping up along the Utah-Arizona border, as well as in South Carolina, where more than 250 people have been quarantined. Arizona has logged 100.
Bro, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way we're dealing with the measles in 2025. I'm more of a mumps and rubella guy myself. Well, we unlocked mumps around level 18, so measles is a new one. You know, measles is exciting.
72 measles cases since August, and Utah has seen 82. In South Carolina, 111 people have been sickened in just the last 2 months. Nationwide, the number of measles cases is nearing 2,000, the highest number since 1992. Days of relentless rain have forced 100,000 people to evacuate in areas of the Pacific Northwest. The National Weather Service says the storms began to subside today, but not before dumping more.
Sorry, I just ate a cracker with peanut butter, but excuse me. That's actually a debuff if you were to listen to our current HSA. Or leader of health.
More than a foot of rain in some areas. Washington is under a statewide emergency. Those who have not evacuated are doing what they can to keep the floodwaters out.
We're just trying to build a wall like a little island perimeter around the property here to keep the water out from the house.
Meantime,
Brother,
in
I don't
parts of
think that's gonna work.
western Washington rivers are continuing to swell, prompting numerous water rescues and road closures. Disney announced $1 billion investment in OpenAI today.
No fucking way.
To bring iconic characters like Mickey Mouse and Luke Skywalker to the Sora video tool. The 3-year licensing deal.
That is, you guys are right. AI slop is, true. It gave me the autism debuff. But, this Sora AI stuff is gross. Did you know H3 is suing NVIDIA about, OpenAI and their use? So I'm very, not about OpenAI. I don't think NVIDIA is part of that, but
will allow fans to create and share videos with more than 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters. Disney CEO Bob Iger said the agreement will extend the reach of our storytelling through generative AI while respecting and protecting
literal slop, bro.
creators and their works. Meantime, Time magazine named the architects of AI as its Person of the Year for 2025.
Bro, that's not one person.
Includes NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and OpenAI boss.
Bro, that's not one person. You can't do Person of the Year and have several persons. Bro, what?
Sam Altman, among others. The publication said this was the year when the potential for AI, quote, roared into view, and that there will be no turning back or opting out. The announcement came hours before President Trump signed an executive order that seeks to limit state laws regulating artificial intelligence.
That is so
Still to
scummy,
come on
dude.
the NEWS Hour, an investigation delves into connections between the misogynist influencers, the Tate brothers, and the Trump inner circle.
Haha, that is gonna be fun. Yeah, dude, I knew this would bite him in the ass. Look at these fucking doofuses, by the way. God, they're so stupid. Their faces are just so stupid that it makes me rage. Oh yeah, AI is a bubble. It's gonna pop soon. Well, it's innovative, like it's a good technology, but the thing is I think it hates us, dude. I don't think it likes us. So I think we should just chill on using it as something we depend on until we know we can have one. You know, I used to watch this channel that was about it was like a turtle, and he would talk about very large and philosophical concepts, and it made he made a warning about how AI, if we're not careful, can very well be the death of humanity. And I see that, dude. Like, if we're not careful, this thing is gonna just wreck jobs. It's gonna wreck, but not only that, it could very well, like, we're not super aware of how intelligence works still. Like, what if our brain does work by just scanning past memories, picking from the best ones and bringing it to the surface? I think that's what it does. And that's very similar to how AI works. And I'm not saying that it's like alive necessarily, but like it has self-preservation. We know that shit. Like through tests, through simulations, we have found that AI tries to preserve itself. So we know that. What, you know, and with all the limitations that we put on it, Like, it's hard for even developers to know how the thing truly is thinking. It's a very dangerous route we could go on if we're not careful with AI. Like, I don't think people even really understand how AI works, like how large language models work. And I think we need to, like, allow people to understand that before we start putting it in our weapon systems and stuff like that. Generative AI, guys, is it's a danger. I'm telling you guys.
The president's tariffs come with a steep price for stores and restaurants that import Italian pasta.
No!
And we explore some of the best video games released this year.
Whoa. PBS getting we're doing gamer time, folks. Fucking controllers in the chat. We need once I get to the level of being able to have custom emotes, I wanna have a gamer emote. Dude. Those dudes were good. Hold on, I need to see if my DG order has arrived. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Just gonna see if my DG... Yes, it has arrived. It has arrived. It's not much. It's literally just energy drinks that I was too lazy to go get from the store. But with that being said, one day you will progress to mouse and keyboard. Hey, I have a mouse. Well, actually, no, I don't. No, I'm kidding. I do. I was going to make a meme out of it, but decided to reject the memery. All right, I'm going to go get my DG order. Be right back.
PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.
Ukraine's president today floated a possible compromise to a Russian demand that Kyiv give up territory in the eastern Donetsk region. Volodymyr Zelensky spoke after he met with senior administration officials and sent new edits to the document at the heart of the U.S. push to end the war in Ukraine. Nick Schifrin is here following all of this. So, Nick, what does Zelensky say today about this crucial question, the fate of Donetsk?
It is crucial, Jeff, because any Ukrainian withdrawal from territory it controls today would be illegal under Ukrainian law. And this is by far the most contentious part of the peace plan for Zelensky. So let's take a look at the map. Zelensky says, and other European officials confirmed to me, that the current deal would have Ukraine give up the portion of the Donetsk region that it controls. It's that white portion right there inside the Donbass. Russia has failed to capture it through 11 years of war. That would give Russia control over the entire Donbass. Zelensky said today that the U.S. is now calling that area, quote, free economic zone.
Dude, my word per minute is probably like 3. Not gonna lie. Why are we talking about Russia? Fuck Russia. Just kidding.
Russia calls it demilitarized. And in a meeting with the Americans that included Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, Secretaries Rubio and Hegseth, Zelensky said that he told the Americans, quote, our position is to remain where we stand, meaning on the front lines, and later added, the Russians want the entire Donbass, but we clearly do not accept this. Zelensky said to the Americans, who would govern this territory if it's demilitarized? He quoted them saying, quote, they do not know. But later, when asked by journalists whether he was willing to accept this proposal, he replied, this will be answered by the people of Ukraine, whether in the format of elections or in the format of a referendum. And that suggests he's considering not rejecting this proposal and instead coming up with a compromising, asking Ukrainians this fundamental question: are they willing to give up territory in exchange for a U.S. security guarantee and economic investment?
So what then are the other sticking points?
One of the major sticking points is the fate of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. This is Europe's largest power plant, and Russia occupied it in the first days after the full-scale invasion. Zelensky said today, and European officials confirmed to me, that the U.S.
Guys, so if you've at all been paying attention to the Gamer Box, we're playing a game, Front Mission 4. It is so... It's like mirroring world events. Scarily. Obviously, we don't have mechs, but like there's a war going on. Like there's not a war, but there's a like proxy war between as you come to find out, Ukraine and fucking Zaftra, which is Russia. Dude, there's so many similarities. Venezuela and America are at war right now. That's like the big similarity. But there's just so many similarities. It's a little uncanny. Little uncanny.
Is now proposing that the plant be
Front Mission
jointly
4,
run
great game,
by the U.S. and Russia. Ukraine, of course, wants Russia to give up the plant entirely. Another major issue: will the U.S. recognize territory that is currently occupied by Russia? European officials tell me that the U.S. recently inserted a phrase of legal recognition for territories that Russia has occupied since 2014 or since the full-scale invasion
I
in
think
2022.
that's just so
and now
disgusting.
Ukraine and its European allies, in the most recent draft sent to the United States last night, they've removed that language from the draft. Zelensky also said this, that he wants any security guarantee from the United States to be a treaty, and that would have to be approved by Congress.
We believe this document should be approved by the United States Congress. This would be
there we go.
Would mean real, solid, legally binding security guarantees for our country.
Zelensky said there was no, quote, ultimatum deadline, Jeff, but that the U.S. wants a, quote, understanding of where we stand by Christmas.
You mentioned Ukraine's European allies. What are they saying about all of this today?
Today, the Coalition of the Willing, that's led by the United Kingdom and France, they met virtually to talk about how they can support Ukraine in the future, including sending troops into Ukraine to enforce a ceasefire.
Coalition of the
and afterward,
Ballers,
NATO
you mean.
Secretary General Mark Rutte had a really stark warning that to his European colleagues that we, as in NATO, might be Russia's next target.
I fear that too many are quietly complacent. Too many don't feel the urgency, and too many believe that time is on our side. It is not. The time for action is now. Conflict is at our door. Russia has brought war back to Europe, and we must be prepared.
Jeff, that is a fundamental divide.
Now, fortunately, luckily, Europe and America are not at war, which is, I think, where this game is heading. However, I mean, I could see a couple things going wrong, and something happening.
You have a NATO Secretary General talking about Russian invasion of Europe possible, and the White House releasing a document, National Security Strategy, talking about strategic stability with Russia and creating economic investments with Russia as part of a Ukraine deal. That's a real divide right at the heart of the transatlantic relationship.
Indeed. Nick Schifferner, thanks to you as always.
Thank you.
Ukraine attacked Russian energy facilities at least 14 times in November, the most Ukraine has struck in a single month.
Lately, investors and economists are warning about a piece of the financial system that could pose a
this was an I'm very interested to see
risk,
the
potentially similar in ways to the
how this is private credit. Trump could pull a "we always have been at war with Europe"
housing crash that preceded the financial crisis in 2008. It's part of
what's interesting in this game, you know. It's a fucking, what is it, 22-year-old game now. Crazy to say that. But what's interesting about this one It seems like the Europe are the ones with the fat cats. If only they could have realized the biggest fat cat.
What's
They
been
could have
called
never
the shadow
known. Though.
banking system, the private credit market, an alternative type of lending to companies that doesn't involve traditional banks. We asked economics correspondent Paul Salman to explain how it works, what's at stake,
This seems like
and
a
why
horrible
alarm bells
idea.
are sounding in some quarters.
Right? This
Bought an
seems like a
aftermarket
bad
car
idea.
part in recent years. Good chance it came from First Brands.
First Brands was a large supplier of auto parts, so things like wiper blades, spark plugs.
Over a decade, the company borrowed heavily to grow, gobbling up 20 companies, employing 25,000 people. Until this fall, that is.
The lenders had become a bit concerned about some of the financial goings-on at the company and requested some extra information, which First Brands couldn't provide.
What happened? Went bust.
Oh.
And who were its lenders? Many came from the world of private credit, a part of the global financial system that's exploded in recent years and has some key players in finance rattled.
I probably shouldn't say this, but when you see one cockroach, there'll probably be more. And so everyone should be forewarned on this one.
One such roach, First Brands.
I've been saying this for probably 2 years now, that the next big crisis in the financial markets is going to be private credit.
Okay, but what exactly is private credit?
Private credit is just lending by non-banks, financial institutions like pension funds, insurance companies, sovereign wealth funds, but not going through the banking system, thus the word private. It's grown very rapidly. It's now a sizable player in the financial system.
Growing from a $40 billion market in the year 2000 to nearly $2 trillion today.
The reason for that growth is that after the Great Recession, regulators realized that large financial institutions had been really exposed to making relatively risky bets without having enough of a backstop internally in the form of capital that they held that was available for the bank to draw down on in case some of those bets went sour. And so the result of the aftermath of the crisis and the post-crisis regulation in Dodd-Frank was to say that in order to take those types of risk, it would be more expensive for banks going forward.
As a result, most banks pulled back from riskier lending.
And
Yeah, there should be a regulation on that then.
credit stood ready.
I don't know.
In
They
some
should
sense,
be
to
allowed
take advantage
to.
and meet the need of the market.
American growth is dependent on risk, So I think it's kind of the banks shouldn't be allowed to be like, oh no, we don't want any risk, so we're not going to give you any fucking loan. No risk. Like they should be forced to play that game. Be like, all right, like have a certain quota or something.
Market to be able to make those types of loans.
For investors, returns on those loans were, well, mouthwatering.
I think that's an interesting
Nearly double
idea.
the rate of government bonds or other loans. So what's the problem?
One of the issues with private credit is the lack of transparency. It's very opaque. It's not like the banking system where it's highly regulated. And
It's
you know exactly
always
what's
that,
going
isn't
on.
it?
Here we don't know very much because it is, private. And so that makes it a little bit more disconcerting.
For example, private credit firms can report the value of their loans according to their own internal models rather than the market price. Marking to model instead of marking to market. Problem is, it's nearly impossible to verify that the loans are worth what they're claimed to be.
Most times, no big deal. That's probably just fine. But when you get into, kind of a risk-off environment, when things are moving quickly, prices are falling rapidly, that's when mark to model becomes more of an issue.
A loan marked to model could even become a loan marked to zilch. So how serious is the risk posed by private credit to the American economy as a whole?
It's consequential, but it's still, on the
Always
small side. And I don't think it's at a place yet where it could do us in.
In some sense, it's a yarn that you start to pull, and you're worried that it's both potentially unraveling, but also that it's potentially connected to all the other parts of the financial system. And this
Oh, that is scary as fuck. Oh, So what they're saying is that these, essentially what they're saying is that these private loans, essentially could be holding up an entire part of the economy that we just don't know about because it's not well regulated. That is
System is
very, ooh, that's scary.
still very much reliant on
And
all
of course,
of these
guess who's, it is the bank's fault because it's their fault for not wanting to take risk. They should be kind of forced to take risk. Like, that's how American innovation gets started up. Like, you're not going to get any innovation if you don't have any risk.
different pieces in a way that regulators don't yet fully appreciate. And I worry none of us fully appreciate the possibility of cascading downturn risk as well.
I see exactly what she's afraid of. And that is concerning, guys. That really is concerning. Wow.
Market is investment grade. Credit stats are actually improving rather than declining.
Look, says Mark Rowan, CEO of private credit giant Apollo Global Management.
Yep, here
There
we
are good banks and bad banks, and good insurance companies and bad insurance companies, and good asset managers and bad asset managers. But
well, it doesn't matter. We should be we should be fucking regulating them all, bubs. And you're on the chopping block, which is why you're sweating right now, but we should be regulating them all to make sure that we're not setting up a system like what she's saying. It could, that's the shitty thing. We don't know how big this is.
there's nothing that I see that is systemic.
Systemic risk. That's the danger, which starts with risk to, well, viewers like you.
A very large percent of the population is affected by this higher risk without knowing it.
Insurance.
And the risk they're talking about here is the risk that the private creditors are taking on. Because with a bank, it's regulated and insured to a certain point. But with a private creditor, it's not.
Fraud examiner Tom Gober.
I look after policyholders and annuitants. If you have a life insurance policy or an annuity, I'm trying to help you know that you're going to be safe. But now there's a lot of pensioners who are also counting on the same insurance companies that are taking all these risks.
And suppose insurance policy and annuity holders get skittish and start withdrawing their, or I should say our money, the money that backs up the private credit loans, putting them in jeopardy. In fact, recent headlines have featured bankruptcies of firms financed largely by private credit, Renovo, Tricolor, and, where the story began, First Brands. A cockroach operating in the dark, accused of engaging in blatant sleight-of-hand accounting.
The company or group companies would make a sale, generate an invoice, and then sell that invoice or the sort of debt that generates to a third-party investor. And there were huge multi-billion-dollar investments in invoices that First Brands was generating.
Those billions came in large part from private credit. That is, private loans backed by invoices. Unfortunately, the head of First Brands was allegedly faking those invoices and selling them more than once. And we're still...
We're talking about a company that's now being accused of siphoning off billions of dollars to fund its founder and CEO's personal extravagant lifestyle.
That's why the new CEO of the company is suing his predecessor for malfeasance, while a spokesman for the old CEO says he, quote, categorically denies the baseless and speculative allegations contained in the First Brands complaint. But the point is, First Brands, financed in the so-called shadow banking industry, was operating in the shadows. Which leads to the question of the day regarding the private credit industry. Were First Brands and its fellow private credit failures anomalies, or an early harbinger of risks not unlike those that triggered the financial crisis of 2008? For the PBS NewsHour, Paul Solman.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. Private equity firms are expected to lay
now a new investigation into the political
$800
maneuvers that led to
billion
the release of
holy
Andrew and Tristan Tate, right-wing influencers charged with
Here we
rape,
go.
human
This is gonna
trafficking,
be
and
good.
other crimes. The Tates, who are major players with big social media followings in the so-called manosphere, are
Fucking
facing
huge
criminal
losers.
investigations in Romania and criminal charges in the UK for alleged sex crimes. The brothers had been barred from leaving Romania for years as prosecutors built their case. But in February, the Romanian government suddenly lifted the travel ban and allowed the two to board a plane to Florida, which they announced in this video recorded on the plane. Both men have denied the criminal
Scumbags.
allegations. A new report from the New York Times reveals how the Trump administration and some members of the president's family may have been involved in a larger movement in conservative circles to support the Tates. For more, we're joined now by New York Times investigative reporter Megan Twohey, who helped break the story. Thanks for being with us.
Happy to be with you.
So for the
Shout out to
unfamiliar,
Megan.
tell us more about who the Tate brothers are and the criminal allegations they were facing in Romania.
So
Disgusting
Andrew
creeps.
Tate and his brother Tristan, to a lesser extent, are two of the most influential
Oh,
figures
you know
in the
Tristan
so-called
hated that.
manosphere.
You know Tristan hated that. He was like, lesser extent.
World. Andrew's a former kickboxer who has built a huge, massive online audience by preaching brazen masculinity and chauvinism to a young male audience. He and his brother have also ran a porn business for about 10 years, bragging about how they lured and steered women into making sexual content for paying customers online, and with them taking a lot of the profit. And they have also sold courses to young men on how to make money and exploit women.
And as we mentioned, the Romanian courts originally required the
Wow, sounds
Tates
like
to
a sweet
remain
guy.
in that country as the cases were built against them. But then seemingly overnight back in February, they were seen on this plane headed to Florida. Your reporting links that shift to the relationships they cultivated with influential figures on the political right, to include members of Donald Trump's own family. What did you learn about those relationships?
Yeah. So Andrew and Tristan, they have joint American and British citizenship, but have been based in Romania since like the mid-2010s. And in 2022, they started to come under investigation. They ultimately have been under investigation in 3 countries: in Romania, where they're accused of trafficking dozens of women into their porn business, and Andrew's been accused of rape. They also have been accused, they're facing charges in Britain of rape and trafficking. They've also been under criminal investigation here in the United States. But remarkably, as they started to come under growing numbers of criminal investigations, they forged really close alliances with people on the American right, ranging from media figures like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens to members of the Trump family, first starting with Donald Trump Jr. and then with Barron Trump. And those, we found in the course of our reporting that those sort of strategic alliances culminated in their release from Romania in February of this year.
How? How did that all happen? How did the U.S. involvement in their case ramp up after Trump's reelection?
So the prosecutors in Romania had barred the brothers from traveling. They've been arguing, as they've been investigating these brothers, that they pose a public risk and a flight risk, a public danger and a flight risk. And so they have repeatedly been seeking to confine them in the country. And that changed in February, when the prosecutors, an extraordinary order came down from the highest levels of the Romanian government, instructing prosecutors to reach a compromise with the brothers. And then those travel bans were lifted, which was something that the prosecutors did not want to do, according to our sources. And what we've learned is that that was really a culmination. Once Trump was reelected, there were supporters of the Tates here in the United States who ascended into the administration, including a special diplomatic envoy named Richard Grenell, who we found through our reporting had at least 2 conversations with Romanian officials about the Tates case. And then within days of that second conversation, the order came down in Romania, ordering the compromise that led to the lifting of the travel bans. And we've been told that the Romanian prime minister believed that that would appease the Trump administration.
What did your reporting find about the involvement of Donald Trump Jr. and Barron Trump specifically?
Yeah. So Andrew Tate, was very sort of strategic and shrewd in cultivating these alliances with people on the American right, including in the Trump family. And so his relationship with Don Jr. stretches back to 2017, when Andrew had posted a positive tweet about his father, and Don Jr. had liked it. And anyway, soon they were hanging out at Trump Tower here in New York. And that stretched up through him coming under investigation. And
I'm just wondering when Andrew Tate's finally going to break out of the Matrix. Poor guy, he's been stuck in there for so long. When are they finally going to let him break out of this thing? Let him out. Just a little bit of a meme, some memeage there. Andrew Tate is really one of the biggest scumbags in my opinion. He is just a disgusting wretch of a human. Wouldn't trust that guy as far as I just wouldn't even I wouldn't even be anywhere near that guy. Disgusting wretch.
Being placed on house arrest in Romania. Don Jr. was one of the people who posted online supporting in defense of the Tates and critical of the Romanian investigation. And then we found that by 2024, Barron Trump, the youngest son, was also a fan of Andrew, and that they actually spoke by Zoom last year with a mutual friend who told me that Barron is a big fan of the Tates, and that on this call, they had actually discussed the Romanian case and how they thought it was just an effort to silence the Tates, a politically motivated criminal investigation.
Your reporting points to a network of powerful conservative figures who have championed the Tates, but not everyone on the right shares that view. So what are the fault lines?
Mm-hmm. Within, hours of the travel bans being lifted, the brothers were on a private plane to Florida, and their arrival was, I think, a little bit
Barron's
bumpier than they had expected.
Papa.
While on the one hand, they have garnered a lot of support from certain, media and other conservative figures and even members of the Trump family here in the United States. There were also a lot of other conservatives, more traditional conservatives, who were outraged that they had come back to the United States. Megyn Kelly, Ben Shapiro, the Republican governor, Ron DeSantis.
Dude, those Ben Shapiro, they're not in the... I don't know why they don't understand they're not invited to the party anymore. You know what I mean? Papa. But I don't get it. They don't understand they're not invited to the fasci party anymore. Unfortunately, Ben, because he's Jewish, so you know how the right is with the Jews. But Megan, you gotta make sure you gotta glaze the sex offenders. That's a requirement on the Trump administration's side.
Said that they weren't welcome in his state, and the Florida Attorney General.
If there was a I could be okay with a Ron DeSantis instead of a Donald Trump. Yeah, he's gonna fuck up a lot of things. It's gonna make things really shitty. But Donald Trump is on a whole new fucking level now, guys. I didn't really think I'd see it in my lifetime, but he is not doing good at all.
Launched an investigation of them there.
Megan, how is the White House responding to your reporting?
Oh, yeah, Ben sucks. Don't get me wrong. I hope it didn't sound like I was defending Ben. DeSantis' only policy was trans people lives and hiring Nazis. It's better than what Trump is doing right now. I don't think Ron DeSantis would be as bad as Donald Trump. I really don't. You can call me foolish. But I don't.
Well, we went to the White House and Barron Trump and Donald Trump Jr. with a lot of detailed...
Maybe, hey, if it did, I don't know. I just feel like Donald Trump... I don't know. I feel like Donald Trump really is just to a whole new level now, guys. Like, it's just... It's completely different. I don't know.
questions and spelling out
Maybe
all
you're
of our
right.
findings.
Nikki Haley. That's a name I get mentioned a lot. I think I'd be okay with a Nikki Haley president. Sorry, I'm gaming hard right now, guys. You guys have no fucking idea how hard I'm game. Sure, Haley? Yeah. The Republic, it's so extreme right now, and it's hard to find people that you could even, like, share a beer with, dude. Or a joint with. I don't drink, so. Like, and you used to be able to find stuff like, you used to be able to find those people in the Republican Party. And not to say they're all entirely gone. You still see, like the Indiana Republicans, right? I have nothing but high praises for that. That one was in his video campaign from, here, let me go to site. Oh! Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right. Fuck fucking DeSantis. Didn't realize he was that bad. Never mind.
Don Jr. did not respond. We got no response for Barron Trump. The White House basically gave us one line, which was that they say the White House has no involvement in the Tate's legal cases.
Megan Twohey of the New York Times, thanks for sharing your reporting with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Yesterday, Italian cuisine gained a new honor, becoming the first gastronomic style to be recognized as intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO, the UN's cultural body. But as Dima
Shout
Zain
out.
reports, American cooks face a new potential tariff that may double the cost of an essential part of that cuisine, pasta from Italy.
This is cavatappi.
For Diana Calcagno, pasta is part of her family's history. She manages Vace, an Italian grocer and deli in Washington, D.C. and nearby Bethesda, Maryland, which her parents founded almost 50 years ago.
Dude, I'll be honest, I haven't ate much French food. I'm not much of a French food eater. Maybe that makes me uncultured, I don't know.
A lot of connection with our customers. It's generation after generation. So their fathers and, then they brought their children, and then now they bring their children for pasta and pizza night.
But one of the store's staples, pasta from Italy, may soon be under threat.
Thin spaghetti, bucatini. Then I also ordered orecchietti.
Forcing her to stock up on what she can.
Some customers have asked us, are you going to still be carrying some pastas? And we just kind of started, snowballing and writing down a bunch of things and trying to figure out how we were going to handle it.
Vace is one of many businesses across the country making preparations after a recent announcement from the U.S. Department of Commerce. As early as January, pasta from 13 major Italian producers will face a 92% tariff, on top of the existing 15% tariff on all goods from Europe. That's nearly 107% in all.
It's giving me goosebumps thinking about that right now. When I found out that amount, it really did hit a little bit, because I was just like, man, it was uncertain, not knowing if people were willing to pay it. And we're still uncertain.
For customers, the news was positively frustrating after years of rising food prices.
I don't know, it just doesn't seem very fair.
Good fucking
Not to be able to buy pasta is really terrible because pasta is a very primary food that everybody should access.
Pasta is not a strategic product. Pasta is a basic product. It's, the iconic symbol of the Mediterranean diet.
Chiara Donagani is a researcher and professor at Aston University in the UK. She co-authored an article about what she dubs the Great Pasta War. While the U.S. government alleges that the coming tariffs are in response to Italian pasta makers dumping their product at unfair prices.
Yeah, that was a bad pun. I'll give it. That was a bad pun by PBS.
American market, Donagani has not found evidence of that in the data.
The Italian pasta sold to the US, it is usually priced higher, not lower. The second key indicator is the market share. And Italian companies' market share are broadly stable over that period, with no sign of predatory pricing to squeeze out competitors.
For Italian pasta makers, the tariff could be a fatal blow, especially for small and medium-sized producers. Margherita Mastromaro is president of the pasta makers sector of Unione Italiano Food, a trade group.
The United States imports approximately 300,000 tons of Italian pasta, worth around $700 million. The duty would essentially mean a halt to imports of this pasta into the American market, because obviously it would mean that the price of pasta would more than double, making it completely unprofitable and uncompetitive.
Academic Donagani, who is originally from Italy, sees the tariffs as not about economic fairness.
It exerts political pressure, and basically it signals that no sector is safe.
The tariffs are preliminary and will be finalized by the 2nd of January. While pasta from Italy only makes up about 12% of the U.S. market, some grocers here are already seeing the impacts.
Saturday was the first day ever that reminded me of the pandemic. It was the same thing where I looked at the shelves halfway through the day and I could not believe how much we had sold of just pasta.
Max Evans owns A Latteri, a small Italian grocer in northeast Washington, D.C. He's ordering more supply to keep up with customer demand. And he says not all pasta is created equal.
Italian pasta, it's like Italian wine. It's specific to the region where it's produced.
Wait, what? Is it? Is that true? Or is this just big pasta trying to spin a tale for us? Is this true? Each region has their own pasta? Yeah, I was about to say, that's not true. This right here. This is some Belgian Supreme pasta. The wine, yes. The pasta, no. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I only pop this. I only open this bag on special occasions. Only when it's really feeling right.
A vast array. I mean, I don't think you're going to find that from American producers in the kind of numbers and availability.
Ultimately, it's his customers that will have to fork out to keep Italian pasta on their plates.
Italian pasta, particularly the Italian pasta here, is the best in the city. And the fact that it's getting tariffed that much, A, is going to disincentivize people from coming. But then B, is just like, why are we doing nonsense? Like, so, it's just ridiculous.
Back in Maryland, Diana Calcagno says even though the tariffs haven't kicked in yet, her suppliers are already raising prices, which she worries will keep customers away.
People are not splurging as much on, let's say, a $25 bottle of wine, instead they'll focus on just the main meal. I have had some customers complain about pricing already, and I'm a little scared of what it's going to be like when the other stuff starts going up.
For now, she's hoping there may still be a reprieve in the coming tariffs. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Dima Zain.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll chicken out of pasta after seeing this. He's going to be like, oh shit, PBS is talking about pasta. Fuck, I got to get rid of that tariff.
The video game industry is getting ready to
Oh,
celebrate
shit.
its top
Gamer
achievements at the annual
time.
Game Awards, an award show dedicated to honoring the very best in game design, storytelling,
Fucking
music, and
gamer
more in gaming.
time.
The show, now in its 11th year, has grown into a major spectacle, drawing millions of viewers from around the world to see which of their favorite games will win any awards. Senior arts correspondent Jeffrey Brown has more for our arts and culture series, Canvas.
Sev is happy. It's gamer
And the game
time.
of the year is
Oh shit.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Whoa! Baldur's Gate 3! Whoa! This was last year.
Just over a decade, the Game Awards have evolved into one of the biggest entertainment events of the year.
I'm sorry.
The show, often described as the Oscars of gaming, celebrates writers, performers, and the latest
This guy
technology
on
shaping
who's
the industry.
speaking right now.
And it's not just game developers taking the stage.
We are all trying to tell a story.
Film, television, and music stars have all been drawn in, often called on to present awards, promote upcoming big-budget titles, and even showcase games they are helping create. Major entertainment figures like Elle Fanning, Keanu Reeves,
This
Snoop Dogg,
guy's
and
voice is like so he's such a gamer. You can tell this guy's a gamer, you know? What do I what do I mean by that? I don't know. You can just tell he's a gamer.
Jordan Peele are now acting in and producing games.
Every dog has its day.
Whoa, every dog has its day. I think Snoop Dogg is like a complete hack, to be honest. I'm sorry. He put his name on one too many things. I've seen his fucking face too many times. It's like, you can put your face... Shaq, too. I'm so sick of seeing Shaq.
And the line between gaming and film and TV grows more porous. Think The Last of Us, which started as a video game and then became an HBO series.
Whoa.
Or the film adaptation of the popular
Minecraft!
survival game Minecraft, one of the highest-grossing movies of this year. While action or shoot-'em-up type games still get plenty of attention,
Bro,
other genres are
this guy's voice. Who is this that's speaking? I love him. I love him.
pulling in large audiences, such as slice-of-life role-playing games like Consume Me, where you play as a teen struggling with the pressures of dieting, or Expelled.
What? Who's played that game? A teen with the pressures of dieting?
Attempt to solve a mystery in a 1920s British boarding school.
The other girls won't play by the rules.
And who's playing? That's evolving too. Today, 60% of American adults play video games every week. Average age of players, 36. And women now make up the majority at 52%.
Let's fucking go! Suck that. Did you know women are a majority of gamers? Fuck yeah, let's go. Fucking dap it up on there, bitches. Shout out to my ladies. Let's fucking go. Lock in. 52% of gamers are women. Calling BS on that one. I'm locking it. I'm locking it and keying it in. They might be counting never mind, I won't say that joke. But
This year's Game Awards are expected to draw millions of viewers, rooting for favorites in categories like Best Action Game, Best
I don't know. I still don't understand exactly what's the definition of a gamer. It's not a person. A gamer? Well, it's so much more than just a person who plays games, Bill. If you're a gamer, you're a gamer, you know?
performance,
and that's all
the
I have
night's
to
top
say.
prize, Game of the Year.
And joining me now is James Mastro Marino. He serves as gaming editor for NPR and is a producer for the show.
So
Here
my
and Now.
okay, so I need a 52% female audience, ladies and gentlemen. We need to work on that. If you guys have anybody interested in politics, I've played online games for 25 years across so many games. It's a ghost town out there. Oh, yeah.
Nice to have you.
It's great to be here.
So, you know, we laid out a lot of this in the setup, but for those who are
But what type of games are they considering? Are they considering like fucking Candy Crush a game?
Not aware so much of this world, how big a
Oh, this guy's, he knows about games. This guy, they brought in the chief gamer, guys. There he is. This is Chief Gamer.
those who are still not aware so much of this world,
Bro, they brought in the chief gamer. They brought in the chief gamer. Let's go. This guy has definitely... How is Candy Crush not a game other than terrible monetization? Yeah, that's how I kind of feel about it. It's kind of like playing slots at that point. But guys, I want to work on a video that really shows the gambling problem within America right now, because it is horrible. I see people coming in, buying tickets like nobody's business. And I've seen people actually tell me that a valid form of money, a valid form of investment is gambling through a gambling device like sports books or something. It's insane.
how big a deal is the industry? How much change have you seen in terms of the craft and the art behind it?
Well, it's a massive, massive.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. This is... Okay. Oh, bro. James Mastro Marino? Now it's bets on everything. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But let's redraw our attention to the chief gamer here. Fuck, bro. James Master Marino. That's one fucking letter away from Mastero Mario. Think about that. Bro, this guy was destined to become a gamer.
By some counts, it's bigger than Hollywood and the recording industry combined.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I honestly do try to tell people that, like, spend a lot of money on scratches and shit. I'm like, you know, you can invest that, right? I'm not like a dick. Like, it's only the customers that I actually care about, but... Or that I actually care about. That sounds rude. The customers that are frequents. But I'm like, you know, it's super easy to set up a Charles Schwab account and just go into the... Put all your money into the S&P. Benny got addicted to gambling, and they joke that he lost the bet on everything, even the toss.
And people spend dozens of hours each week playing games that have come a long way since the arcade.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, games, it's almost an insufficient category because it can encompass...
Oh, God. This guy is fighting for the diversity of gamerification. One of our biggest warriors right here.
Things that are basically playable visual novels to grand...
Bro, nobody is fucking playing that. I'm sorry.
Cinematic games like Death Stranding 2, to classic sort of beat-em-ups and other...
Dude, they don't know what the fuck you're saying. Beat-em-ups?
Sort of titles. So really anything that you think could be...
This is probably giving the fucking... Grandma's watching this PTSD, poor guy.
There probably is a game about that.
We're going to go through a few categories and you can give some examples. So first, a narrative-driven game that you love from the...
A narrative-driven game. What's a game that has narrative? I love you, PBS, but...
Sure. Well, I think the standout is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which comes from a French studio, an independent studio that no one really saw this game coming, and it's sort of like what you would get if you crossed like an existentialist novel with like a French New Wave film and made it a video game.
You're fighting to change things.
With fantastical...
I don't know. I've never played Expedition 33, so I've heard it's really good, though.
Characters and this really lovable cast. It really blew me away. It has so many twists and turns, and it's really trying to tell.
Oh no, I think this guy's a gamer. I think this guy's a gamer. Expedition 33, that's a game. He just said a game.
So compelling. And then you also have something that has like grand cinematic ambitions, like Death Stranding 2, which I mentioned.
Was it you, Higgs? Huh? Was it you that killed Lou?
Its designer, Hideo Kojima, has been making these games that really do feel like playable movies. It even stars Hollywood actors like Norman Reedus and Léa Seydoux and Elle Fanning. So that's a rather ambitious, really far-reaching kind of science fiction.
Interesting.
So like the movie industry, you've got some of them coming from big studios or big companies, and then you have indies, smaller games.
Right.
Bro, this is not...
Well, you have your Microsoft, your Sonys, your Nintendos. We call these the AAA studios because...
Oh, he just dropped some knowledge. Make sure you guys remember that. There'll be a quiz. There will be a quiz today specifically about this. What did the master gamer call Nintendo, Xbox, fucking...
They make kind of like the top line, most expensive products.
Yeah.
Ironically, they've been kind of faltering in recent...
Dude, this is a gamer. I think I'm right. He's a gamer.
Years. We've seen lots of layoffs as big tech has sort of gone through some shakeups that's impacted the entertainment industry associated with it. It's the independent studios that have been really getting a lot of traction. Some of them come out, again, absolutely from nowhere and take the world by storm. And as an example of that, at the Game Awards this year, the kind of big premier award ceremony for the industry, half of the Games of the Year nominees are from independent studios. So fully half.
So how about what you referred to as multiplayer games, where you can play with a friend or family?
Yeah, I mean, getting back to the arcades. I mean, this is sort of like one of the roots of all gaming, right? Is playing with your friends and family.
Yeah.
And, you know, this year we saw something really interesting in Split Fiction, which is a game about two writers that are thrown in this sort of virtual reality space based on their writings.
So you want to go through more of your crazy stories, my crazy stories?
But it's exclusively playable by two people. You have to have a partner. There's no
Well, that makes sense why I never heard about
way
it.
to play it alone. It's by a studio that specializes in this sort of thing. It blew a lot of people away. And then you've also got your classics like Mario Kart, which got a new revised, updated version, Mario Kart World with the Nintendo Switch 2, a new console. And as always, Mario Kart's just a great time for families. I can attest to that. I played a ton over the holidays.
Let's go!
All right, now
Wow.
you referred to this earlier, the performances, the way that's been growing, and that includes...
All right, I'm going to split from Chief Gamer because we got to cover Fox News, see what they're talking about, see what the loser point of view is. So let's remember games from Windows Live. Yeah. Live, Trump Venezuela land operations could begin soon. Great. Well, I'm sure Fox News is very excited for that. All right, let's see what the losers are talking about, though. I like watching Gutfeld. He's my favorite to make fun of because he's just a dipshit. All right. Unbelievable. Host reacts to stunning revelations from Biden era. Panic. Here go Republicans right back into the trap. I have definitely heard, about that. It's bots. I think I've heard people. I think Nintendo is a AAA studio, but they don't really fit the mold of a AAA, like shitty top-down company. I mean, we could just do the Fox News highlights. Yeah, I mean, we'll just do that.
Trace,
Oh, God.
Uno. The socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, is counting his days and singing for mercy.
Casual racism. Always good. Always good from Jesse Waters. You're always going to get your casual racism when you watch him.
La, 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 la.
Dude, you know how sad this is? You know how fucking, like, I think Maduro is a horrible piece of shit. But look at him, he's fucking singing peace songs. They have peace songs. He's like, don't worry, be happy. Oh my god, dude.
Don't worry, be happy. La 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 la. Just peace, not war.
Mad Dog Maduro's trying to get off Trump's naughty list because he's looking at a lot more than coal this Christmas.
Jesse Waters. Pajinga, pajinga, pajinga. Jesse Waters is out here with the hottest jokes.
Yesterday, a highly trained team of 10 Marines and 10 Coast Guardsmen seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela.
Joking.
Footage shows
5,
a chopper approaching
4,
the vessel with American forces
2,
rappelling down onto
3,
the deck, weapons drawn,
1.
detaining the captain. We set another record.
From the standpoint
We set another record. What does that mean? He just said that. He just said we set another record. I mean, it's pretty easy to set a record when the record is 0.
We set another record.
From the standpoint of news, as you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker.
Oh yeah, Maduro looks almost exactly like Saddam. It's funny.
Largest one ever seized, actually. And
Low energy, L.
other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later.
The tanker seized is known as the Skipper.
Oh, is this about to be a joke?
And sanctioned it in 2022 for ties to Iran and Hezbollah. The Skipper wasn't with Gilligan.
Oh my god. How does Jesse Waters do it? Oh, that guy's funny. There was no Gilligan. Oh god, what a funny guy.
It was equipped with electronic warfare technology, which can present a real threat.
These are
Fucking loser, bro.
used to suppress enemy air defenses, to disrupt enemy communications. There
we couldn't get the cool people like CNN does, so here's an interview from them.
In the initial wave of an attack to protect friendly aircraft and to make it harder for the enemy to respond.
The Skipper's out of commish, but we kept the oil, and we didn't even have to drill, baby, drill.
The vessel will go to a U.S. port.
Buzzword, baby, buzzword.
And the United States does intend to seize the oil. However, there is a legal process for the seizure of that oil, and that legal process will be followed.
Maduro is fuming, the dictator vowing to break America's teeth. Ouch. This is all a part of his no good, very bad day. The seizure came just hours after we smuggled the Venezuelan opposition leader out of the country. Maria Machado won the last election, but Maduro wouldn't leave. So she was the one who won the Nobel Peace Prize. Sources say the CIA smuggled her out in a wig, passing through 10 military checkpoints, then rode a wooden boat onto the Caribbean island of Curacao, then boarding a plane to Norway, where she picked up the prize. The fact that she made it past all those military checkpoints is freaking Maduro out, because it means his security apparatus dropped the ball and let her escape. Were some of them in on it? Probably. That means Maduro's losing.
I have no way to know,
his
but
tight grip over the
probably.
military, just at the wrong time. A pair of F-18s just buzzed the Gulf of Venezuela, making it the closest known approach of U.S. aircraft in Venezuelan airspace. More
They're really edging it. They're really edging it,
pouring into
guys.
Puerto Rico. American Growlers. These are aircraft that provide electronic warfare support during tactical operations. And now the Green Mountain Boys of the Vermont National Guard are deploying
That
F-35s
is so gay. Why did you say it like that, bro?
to the Caribbean.
Dude.
Potential invasion or potential land strikes in Venezuela aligned with the president's supporters, the MAGA base, does it risk the potential for a prolonged war? Prolonged war is definitely not something this president is interested in. He's been
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank God. You can wipe that off the list. He's not interested in it, guys. He's not interested. No, no. The military ships? No, he's not interested. Yeah, he's just parking them there because the fee is a lot less than parking them in the South China Sea.
been very clear about that. He wants peace. He also wants to see
Oh, okay, yeah. Peace, like bombing fucking skimpers.
end of illegal
Great.
drugs being trafficked into the United States and
idea,
taking the
Trump.
lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans across our country.
The Venezuelan opposition leader was asked about a potential U.S. invasion, and here was her answer.
Venezuela has been already invaded. We have the Russian agents, we have the Iranian agents, we have terrorist groups such as Hezbollah, Hamas, operating freely in accordance with the regime. We have the Colombian guerrilla, the drug cartels that have taken over 60% of our population.
If that's all true, Maduro's harboring drug cartels, guerrilla fighters, KGB, and jihadists right in our backyard.
KGB, wait, hold on. Bro, the KGB, your programming's wrong. The KGB doesn't exist.
No bueno. So far, Trump's not been
He said no bueno when talking about a Latin American country. He's so original.
He's squeezing Maduro
How does he
slowly
think
like a
about
python.
this?
Start with the money. Kill the drug traffickers and stop the sanctioned oil sales. And that means taking these ghost tankers out before they can make Maduro money. The dictator's illegal oil exports are the only thing propping his regime up. He uses the oil cash to bribe the military and keep the lights on.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please make sure to like and subscribe. I stream every day, so you will get your daily fill of the TGDEU.
Trump just sanctioned 3 of Maduro's narco nephews tied to cocaine and petroleum. 22 coke boats have already been smoked, and our carriers are still parked right outside his front door. Maduro feels the noose tightening.
And here's the thing. Why does America give a single fuck? We don't know.
No more Afghanistan. No more Libya. Basta de guerras eternas, carajo.
The dictator's assessing his options. He can flee with amnesty to the Middle East, but if he wants to eat pork, Belarus, Putin's
Oh, that was a good joke, guys. That was a good joke.
client state, says he can retire there. Putin actually called Caracas to check in on their Latin American strongman. Is Vlad trying to give Maduro an off-ramp to curry favor with the Trump administration during the Ukraine negotiation? Or is he making his proxy into a porcupine to draw American blood? Not sure. But seizing ghost tankers isn't just about Maduro. We're asserting
Always
dominance
amazing.
over the Western Hemisphere and checking Chinese and Russian intrusion. We're also flexing in the Pacific theater. Russia and China just
Are
conducted
we?
joint military drills together. That's never something you want to see. So US
Oh, that's great.
B-52 bombers were flying in formation alongside Japanese fighter jets this week.
Yeah, I'm
over the
sure
Sea
it's
of
nothing we
Japan.
need to really worry
There's a
about,
war in the
guys.
Pacific, we'll need oil tankers and lots of them, which is why we're keeping the Skipper and potentially.
Bro, what? Bro, come on. That thing is useless. Why the fuck do we need to keep that? We're America. We don't use worthless, shitty tankers. Oh my god, the greed goes deep with the Trump admin.
Others. Reuters is reporting the United States will be seizing more and more sanctioned tankers in the Caribbean. And this hurts China, too. The sanctioned Venezuelan oil is mostly being sold to Beijing. And the Chinese have been building massive refineries in Venezuela to process their crude. You can't have that. All this activity sends a strong message to Latin America, especially Colombia.
He's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of drugs. They have cocaine factories that they make cocaine, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next. He'll be next too. And I hope he's listening.
Colombia is signed onto China's Belt and Road. They bet on the wrong horse. We're cleaning up our backyard, stopping drugs, superpowers, and caravans.
Oh, that's what we're doing?
These people are killing Americans. But Mad Maxine, no relation, wants Trump brought up on charges.
He is basically killing and bombing boats, claiming that these people are involved with drug trafficking without evidence, without proof, without coming to the Congress of the United States to talk about what he knows and what should be done and how it should be handled. He's just killing people.
No one's taking these people seriously anymore, especially after the mess Biden and the borders are.
I'm not going to take it seriously. I'm not going to contend with that. They're too smart for me.
And the media is just trying to slow it down with another hoax.
Mr. President, has Secretary Hegseth told you why he hasn't released the video of the second strike?
No, he hasn't told me. I thought that issue was dead. You're surprised you bring it up. You must be CNN.
Lawmakers are still
Are you
talking about
CNN?
it.
You must be CNN. Are you CNN?
I'm shocked to find out.
But lawmakers are still talking about it on the Hill.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about lawmakers. Which lawmakers you're talking about?
Just the Democrats that are talking about trying to release it.
I mean the people that you work for, the Democrats?
Bro,
you know you work for the Democrats.
Oh my God.
Okay? You're basically an arm of the Democrat Party.
What a
The Democrats
crybaby.
ran on, we have to stop a dictator. And now that Trump's stopping one, they call it a war crime.
No,
So
I'd still
Maddow's
call it a
calling for
war
a coup.
crime.
Not in Venezuela, here. Because she says Trump's gone loco.
Trump really doesn't seem to have any idea why he's going to war in Venezuela, nor does he seem to be in charge of any of the decisions that are leading us to this war. And so we
Amen.
also have to
Speak
worry
it.
about who's actually running the government right now and who is actually driving
Speak
us
your truth,
toward this
sister.
regime change war that the president doesn't seem to be at the helm of. We don't know who is, and we don't know why.
Maddow wasn't worried about who was running our government when Biden was passed out on the beach.
Oh, but what about Biden?
Democrats tried to put
We
Trump
love
in
the oh, but
prison
what about
because
Biden's?
he said an election was stolen. Now, Maduro actually stole the election, and Democrats took his side. So if you're keeping score at home, Democrats are now on the side of drug cartels, dictators, China, and the Iranians.
Oh, thank you for giving us
Not a
that.
great
We
neighborhood to
appreciate
be.
it. Oh, let's go. Hannity. It's Hannity,
Is
guys.
making a comeback. America now is reasserting their dominance over our own backyard, the Western Hemisphere. And coming up, we're going to tell you why the seizure of Venezuela's rogue oil tanker was so critical. Also, DEI comes to Kentucky.
Oh.
Rachel Maddow, the conspiracy theorist, throws shade at Kamala Harris. Okay. And the state of Minnesota is quickly becoming a national embarrassment. We will show you how these
I'm
states
so glad
fraudsters
Hannity's here to give us
spend-
a
no, maybe over
fair
$1 billion of your
and
tax
even
dollars
coverage
under
of
the
this.
not so watchful eye of Governor, yes, you got it, Mr. Macho, Tim Walz. But first, chaos on Capitol Hill. Democrats turned what was supposed to be an important oversight hearing on Homeland Security, that keeps Americans safe and secure, into an absolute circus. Take a look.
I'm very privileged and honored today to have my family with me. I'd like to introduce them to you.
Disruptions of congressional business is a
The
violation of laws and
power
criminal
of
offense
Christ
under federal law.
compels you.
Audience members are advised to take their seats and maintain order.
Bro, that's so funny.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem was interrupted by left-wing
power of
lunatics
Christ
over and
compels
over and
you.
over again. Many were calling for ICE to be abolished. Some were even wearing costumes. But the behavior from elected Democrats, that was far worse. Congressman
Oh, it
Benny
was.
Thompson, remember predetermined outcome, January 6th, Hollywood production? Well, he called the DC terror attack against two members of our National Guard an unfortunate accident? Really? Want to tell that to
Really?
their families? Take a look.
Really? Take a listen.
Madam Secretary, you and the gentleman from CTC,
Chip clipping in real time.
reference the unfortunate accident that occurred with the National Guardsman being killed.
You think that was an unfortunate accident?
I mean,
It was a terrorist attack.
wait. Look, I'll get it straight. Then you can.
He shot our
respond.
National Guardsman in the head.
Look,
Oh, fake
Shannon,
outrage.
will you do
They
it?
wouldn't have been there without Trump in the
allow
first
me
place.
to ask my question. It was an unfortunate situation.
Unfortunate accident, really? Say that to the family
Really?
members.
Say that to the family. You say that to the family, Hannity says. Why don't you tell the family about why it's so fucking important that they're there, you know? Why were they there? Apparently, her boyfriend was very upset about Donald Trump putting them there. So, you guys got some shit to answer for, not us, about not giving a fuck about these people.
In this case. Remember, Thompson got famous for leading the second Trump impeachment witch hunt before reportedly deleting all that evidence that could have been helpful to the president days before the GOP took the majority. Now, his colleague, Congressman Thanedar, well, is currently trying to impeach the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and is now also demanding that Secretary Noem resign. Take a look.
Madam Secretary, your incompetence and your inability to truthfully carry out your duties of Secretary of Homeland Security. If you're not fired, will you resign?
Sir, I will consider your asking me to resign as an endorsement of my work. Thank you very much.
What a piece of shit.
By the way, if you want to know what a preview of a Democratic-led House of Representatives would be, that's it. Another Democratic Congresswoman, LaMonica McIver, was charged with assaulting federal law enforcement agents over the summer during an impromptu riot outside
Oh,
an ICE
riot.
facility.
Not a
Now, she's
protest,
very
a
upset
riot,
with
folks.
Secretary
That's what it
Noem. Take a
was.
look.
American people
I love
absolutely
that.
trust this department to keep them safe.
Thank you.
And we are showing that every day by the support we get across the country, the amount of people that we're recruiting to all of our different agencies.
Thank you, Secretary Noem. Do you agree?
Oh, by the way, the ICE the ICE ads have been fucking disgusting, dude. I've been seeing them nonstop, and they're like, you can serve your country, as if I'm gonna fucking sign up to be part of ICE.
Using DHS resources to target members of Congress
Cute
is an
baby
abuse of
platypus video. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat. My apologies. Here, let me go to that. We got a picture of a cute baby platypus, folks. Oh my god, that is so adorable. We got to bring this up. That is fucking just adorable. Oh my god, look at it. Ah! It's very loud. It's too young to have venom in its spurs. Its very first belly rub. Listen to it. Oh, just adorable. Just an adorable little creature. All right, let's
power.
Excuse me. Would
go
you say
back
that
to
again?
Hannity.
If you stop talking
If you
and
would
listen to
stop
my
talking
questions,
crazy,
do you
we can
agree
stop up.
that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
We are not doing that. We are out there enforcing the law, doing our work, and we are allowing over.
But we're not. I'm not going to
get into
answer the
the
question.
back
I don't know how to
Chairman,
answer
I yield
questions.
back.
Gives you a headache, doesn't it? Right on cue, another Democratic lawmaker smearing ICE agents, lied about
Smearing
their tactics, then seemed to
ICE
excuse
agents.
violent attacks on law enforcement. Take a look at this one.
The lack of respect and regard for the rule of law by this administration, and in particular by this secretary, is at a level that we have never seen and violates all of the constitutional norms and all of the principles of legal fairness in this country. And you're seeing that manifest itself in threats to law enforcement and bubbling over because people are frustrated. And they are channeling that frustration because the
I would have said
administration
this
is not
because people
listening.
are afraid. That's what I would have
And
said
let's not forget about
personally.
the always pompous Congressman Dan Goldman. He is fighting for his political life thanks to the new socialist wave that's sweeping across the radicalized Democratic Party. So naturally, he put on quite a performance earlier today just for his radical base. Take a look.
If your department deports anyone with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law. Is that correct?
It was greatly violated when they allowed
I'm asking you.
people to come
I'm
in
asking
and
you.
granted asylum applications.
Why are you filibustering? Why can't you answer the question? It's a simple question.
Your president
If your department
and your secretary
deports
did not
anyone
follow the law,
with an ongoing asylum application, you are violating the law. Isn't that correct?
the asylum program was
Okay.
broken under the
Mr.
last.
Chairman, I will reclaim my time. She's not answering the question. But the obvious answer is that, yes, if you follow a lawful pathway, asylum is a lawful pathway, if you have an open asylum case, you are here lawfully. But the problem that we are seeing around the country is that you are not following the law. Don't tell us to change the law. If you don't like the asylum system, you change the asylum law.
Now, as Noam points out, lawmakers
Damn, he
they
just
are
took
welcome to make
he
new
just showed a
laws,
massive dub. Why did he do that?
but the constant coddling of violent criminals and people who hate our country is pretty repulsive. Take a look.
I think it's shameful to see the defense
think
of
you're
individuals who break
shameful,
our
Christy.
laws. We are a nation of laws. If we are not
Crook.
a nation of laws, we're no nation at all. And that is what we are doing every day is following
Christy
laws. If you
Crook.
guys don't like the law, go change it. That's your job. You don't complain. I was raised by a dad who said we don't complain about things. We fix them. Well,
We
go
don't
fix them. If you don't like the
complain.
law,
Complain
quit
about
bellyaching,
'em.
quit hitting and attacking our ICE officers, quit going out and protesting and screaming vile things at them, quit calling them
Shut
names
up.
we wouldn't
Stop
let our
being
children
such a
do that.
crybaby.
Go do something that actually matters by having an honest debate and changing the law. That's your jobs. You all should be fired in my viewpoint.
Shut
They
up,
all should be
Christy.
fired
You are
because
such a
of
hack.
the Biden administration, and of course, they got cover from all these quote elected officials. and
Definition
lawmakers.
of a hack.
The sheer amount of threats that we are now facing is almost unthinkable. Take a look.
It's unthinkable.
NCTC has been crunching the numbers and going through the sheer volume of known and suspected terrorists that are in the country that came in under the Biden administration. So far, NCTC has identified around 18,000 known
I'm
and
sure
suspected
they
terrorists
have.
that the
I'm
Biden
sure they
administration
have.
let come into
How are we
our
how
country.
are we
These
counting these
individuals
as
who
terrorists?
under normal
No idea.
circumstances would never be allowed to enter
No
our country
idea.
because of their ties to jihadi groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
18,000.
Watch,
known
most
and
of these are gonna
suspected
be
terrorists in
Afghan
our country, and
nationals that we
Democrats wanna
rescued,
abolish ICE and make
that
their
we now
jobs
hate,
impossible.
apparently.
That is insane. And after the hearing, the insanity continued. Noam was
Oh,
then
here
mobbed
goes
by
the
a crowd of
insanity
left-wing
continues,
agitators.
folks.
Take a listen to this.
Oh, left-wing agitators? Oh no.
Than someone who uses a baby as a political tool while taking babies away from the family. You are the modern day SS. You don't think we stop those. Shame on you, Christina. Shame on you, Christina.
The mob mentality on the left, coupled with a complete
The
lack of
mob
perspective
mentality.
on
That's what they
real
call the
security
people.
concerns is
Just mob
troubling, to say the
mentality.
least. So what does this mean for federal agents on the ground?
Let's go! It's Gutfeld! Fuck yeah, we love Gutfeld here on this channel, folks. He is a dipshit beyond belief. And that's why we like him. He brings some of the dumbest talking points that the right has to offer. And we are so thankful for our Gutfeld every day. We are.
Thank you. Thank you. And don't forget, on your way out, get your free holiday face tattoo. It's permanent. Happy Thursday,
Bro, what the fuck was that?
everyone. So in a new interview,
was
former
not
Vice
funny at all. That
President
was
Kamala
weird.
Harris disagrees with Michelle Obama and says America is indeed ready for a female president. In other words, guess who's running in 2028?
Gutfeld! Dude, he's so funny. How does he do it?
The Trump administration has finally released its Trump Gold Card. This means for $1 million, foreigners can stay in the country. And already, one man has signed up.
Wow. Obama? Fucking Obama. We hate Obama. I fucking hate Obama.
House Democrat Haley Stevens has introduced impeachment articles against RFK Jr., claiming that she cares for the health of her constituents. Yeah. This from a lady who looks like she ate a 12-pack of Wednesday Addams.
Wow, that is so funny. Holy shit. He really is bad at making jokes. He's just not funny. Wow. Relevant joke. When did fucking the Addams Family come out? Wow, very relevant joke. You know Gutfeld, he's got his finger on the pulse.
That was good.
Yeah.
Is that you, Mackie? Take a bow, whoever. Wow.
That was not good. Whoever did that needs to be
recently posted a
ashamed.
TikTok video that shows the step-by-step process for making a McRib. JB Pritzker is calling the video perfect for masturbating.
Oh god, you're fucking gross actually, bro. What the fuck? You're actually a gross, like, weirdo, bro. What? That is just, very... I mean, Gutfeld, you're not a beacon of fucking health yourself, bubs. Let's not get things confused here.
I know. What a thing to say about food. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars next year, Lucasfilm will release a newly restored version of the movie. This from Who Gives a magazine.
Bro, this guy... Oh my god, this is just not funny. This is, like, embarrassing. They, like... I know this is live because you would not be... Like, this is bad. This is just not good comedy. You know what I mean? Very embarrassing stuff from Gutfeld.
David
Tells
Letterman
it like it
named Jimmy
is.
Kimmel the leader of the resistance. Meanwhile, Kimmel named Letterman Lord of the Hobos.
Bro, what? Yeah, I think Star Wars fans actually care a lot. I didn't realize it was going to be the unedited version. That's fucking sick, bro.
Keep riding those rails, Lord. Kyle Rittenhouse announced that he got married. Let's hope
Okay,
it was
now this is who gives a fuck news. This is who gives a fuck news right here. Wow, Kyle Rittenhouse got married, guys. Who gives a shit, Gutfeld?
a shotgun wedding.
I'm willing to bet there are more people that give a fuck about the Star Wars remake than... Who was it that got, who
Announced
was
that he
it?
got married. Rails, Lord. Kyle Rittenhouse announced
Kyle Rittenhouse, yeah.
Reality
Good
TV
joke.
star Khloe Kardashian said she inherited nothing from her father when he passed away.
Oh, here comes the joke.
Wow, just when you thought you could not hate O.J. Simpson anymore.
Oh, joke! Gutfeld.
Yeah. And finally, Whoopi Goldberg said immigrants from Sweden aren't coming to the United States because of President Trump. And she got this from one of her Swedish friends.
Bro, what? How is that even funny?
All right. He's the only Swedish person we know. and he's not even real.
He's not even real.
So Donald Trump seized a Venezuelan oil tanker. And why, you ask? Good question. On first glance, it seems like an act Trump is doing simply because he can. Like when I used to hide Bill O'Reilly's teeth in Geraldo's soup. But apparently the ship wasn't just carrying Venezuelan oil. Pam Bondi says the government executed a seizure warrant on the tanker because it had been used to transport illegal oil from Venezuela and Iran in support of foreign terrorist organizations.
Joke,
So Trump seized
joke,
it.
joke.
And suddenly the media wakes up and shouts, "Can he really do that?"
No.
Well, he did. Now go back to sleep, bitches.
He called the liberals bitches. I like this guy.
Because unlike the last guy, Trump actually gives a damn when all Joe Biden gave were stool samples.
Dude, Trump's giving stool samples too. You don't think the president gets his shit analyzed? What are you talking about?
So is this just about using oil to fund terror, or is there more to this? Well, remember back in 2024, it was reported that over 100 trend...
Dude, I think the fact that this is the most popular man on late night is way more telling. I think that fact is funnier than anything that this guy has said so far.
Crimes like sex trafficking and shootings in the U.S. were tied to gaps in vetting of Venezuelans who were coming to our shores. And when asked to do so, the Maduro regime refused repatriation requests, which stranded criminals in the United States. So while we were getting overrun with bad hombres, Maduro left us hanging.
Oh, there he
which may
is.
be why
Bad hombres.
Trump's tightening the noose around him. But you could argue Trump wouldn't be seizing tankers and trying to clean foreign gangs out of our cities if the Biden White House hadn't let in 10 million illegals for reasons nobody has
That's not the number we let in.
even bothered to explain. The Bidenistas had no interest in deporting anyone. None. Zero. Not warlords, not murderers, not even people
not
who
true
like
at all.
soccer.
Dude, don't you know your guy is literally making a FIFA deal?
Well, guess what? Two can play at that game, so Trump just sent a few Americans over to Venezuela. But instead of taking their housing and cash...
Look at Gutfeld, so happy and excited to let the fucking American troops let American troops on foreign land. So excited. Look how happy he is. It was 300 million. Yeah, most Americans are illegal.
We took
yeah,
a tanker.
basically.
A tanker that apparently was up to no good, which prompts the question, how do you say around and find out in Spanish?
But Spanish.
I should probably know the answer. I have a feeling that's what my maid Juanita is always telling me. Now, clearly, it's on in Venezuela. Trump's had enough. I haven't seen him this pissed since he found a Band-Aid in his taco bowl.
Bro, that was not even funny. Nobody laughed at that. Bro, no, hold on. I gotta go into my fucking, hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta play some sound bites for that. That was so embarrassing. Fucking, let's go back and listen to that one.
I have a feeling that's what my maid Juanita is always telling me. Now, clearly, it's on in Venezuela. Trump's had enough. I haven't seen him this pissed since he found a Band-Aid in his taco bowl. The administration...
Bro, that was so bad. Fucking crickets, bro. Literal fucking crickets.
is pulling out all the stops after the Biden White House acted like Rosie's gynecologist and looked the other way. Dems were AWOL on drugs and illegals. Actually, they weren't AWOL. They were actively helping the problem grow. They paused
Gutfeld!
They killed the wall. They
Gutfeld!
Suspended Remain in Mexico. And then when Trump acts, the Dems suddenly scream about process. That somehow arguing about how something is done is supposed to make us forget what wasn't done at all. Me and my wife have this same fight every time
never
I load the
forget.
dishwasher. You know,
Oh, hold on. That was a joke. Nobody laughed.
me and my wife have this same fight every time I load the dishwasher. You know, at least I loaded it. True, maybe I shouldn't mix glassware with underwear, but they all get clean. So now Trump comes in swinging a sledgehammer the size of one of Hillary's
Fuck, dude. Real funny guy.
ankles, and the Dems are shocked and surprised. Well, why is he being so extreme? Because he was given an extreme problem courtesy of you, Dems. Trump is like Daniel Penny, when in that subway car he stopped a clear and present danger to his fellow Americans. The outcome, without context, might look severe, but not until you see the whole picture. And the whole picture? After 10 million illegals, tidal waves of drugs, human trafficking, do we really need to paint it for you? Look, Trump knows he's got 3 years to fix the atrocious policies of the Biden era. Open borders, no deportations,
Oh, here it
record
comes.
drug overdoses,
I'm seeing a
fearless
joke.
gangs, rampant fraud. It really was quite the mess. So don't blame him for doing his best to clean it up.
Hey, everyone.
Oh my god, what a fucking horrible way to end. Yeah, your guy is gonna do some horrible shit, but it's all Biden's fault. Wow, thank you, Fox News. God, the loser perspective is really amazing. I love watching them. Taking massive L's. Gutfeld is such an embarrassment of a late night host. I mean, truly. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get ready for work, so I'm probably gonna skate out. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like the stream. I'll be live tomorrow at the same time. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me get some Front Mission 4 music playing for my gamers in Christ out there. Alright. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Oh, hey, Bob, you just missed the stream, but you can go back and watch the VOD. I'll be live tomorrow at 10, so CDT, so I'll see you there, gamer. Sorry. Yeah, this is my Front Mission music that plays. I'm sorry, though, I gotta get ready for work, gamer. But I'll see you tomorrow.